When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, make we talk, my people, make we talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Make we talk, people, make we talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So people, make we talk. Hey, we're living in a world that on ourselves we must depend. Make we talk. When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, make we talk, my people, make we talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Make we talk, people, make we talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So people, make we talk. Hey, we're living in a world that on ourselves we must depend. Make we talk, people.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to a special edition of the Make We Talk program. Our topic today: should Jamaica resume hanging? Should the government of Jamaica resume hanging? Would it stem Jamaica's crime problem? I think a former Minister of National Security, who a lot of people don't really like him, but he's an outspoken person, Robert Bobby Montague, believe that legislature should, the Parliament of Jamaica should come together and resume hanging. They should put something in legislation to resume hanging in this country. We're going to speak about that this morning. Should Jamaica resume hanging? And then we're going to take your calls and what you think about it. Do you believe that Jamaica should resume hanging? Will it stem Jamaica's crime problem that we have in our country that is plaguing Jamaica, and they keep on lying to the Jamaican people about the true figures of murders in this country? Do you believe that if they resume hanging in Jamaica, it will stem Jamaica's crime problem? Because I don't believe that a healthy man should break into the home of an 80-year-old woman who could be his grandmother or his mother and brutally raped her and slit her neck, or slit her throat rather. And then you must go into GP, sit down there and name taxpayers' money for the rest of your life until the Lord call you home. I believe in an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. And Lord, if I sin, forgive me. But I believe that the time has come for the Jamaican government to resume hanging in this country. Resume hanging. Because if you don't resume hanging in Jamaica, you're going to continue same way. A lot of people have been talking about it. And you have some You have some people saying that they shouldn't because of human rights. 7 in 10 Jamaicans are expressing strong support for the use of the death penalty in the fight against crime. Donaldson poll found that 72% of Jamaicans agree that the death penalty would help to drive down crime in Jamaica, while 20% disagree. 7 in 10 Jamaicans are expressing their strong support for the use of the death penalty in fighting against crime. 72%. A Don Anderson poll found that 72% of Jamaicans agree that the death penalty would help to drive down crime in Jamaica, while 20% disagree. My take on it is if I was ever in government, what did I do here a while ago? Oh God. What did I do? Oh, here it is. If I was ever in government, I take to the streets as a parliamentarian and have a petition in every single, I'd travel from Negril Point to Moran Point in a campaign. I have Jamaicans signed to it. But the time has come for us to solve Jamaica's crime problem, and I believe that one of the ways of solving our crime pandemic in this country is to resume hanging. Now, a former minister of government who a lot of you don't like, but I believe that sometimes when he speaks, he gets the attention of me. And I speak that none other than the former Minister of National Security, Robert Bobby Montague. This is what he said some time ago when he was minister. And when he put certain things in the parliament, his colleagues refused to help him with the bill. This is what he said.
Right. Madam Speaker, the other solution I have is that it is time for us to arm the society. Any decent law-abiding citizen with a clean police record, no mental issues, or domestic violence conviction should be able to acquire a gun permit within 45 days of applying. Police statistics shows that over the last 10 years, 29 firearm holders have been murdered in Jamaica. 29. In addition, a total of 627 combined major crimes, including shootings, robbery, murder, larceny, have been committed against firearm holders. Madam Speaker, there are 45,000 licensed firearm holders in Jamaica today with 167,000 guns. But remember that persons have multiple licenses, multiple guns, plus there are security companies and gun clubs. There is an average of 30,000 firearm holders over the last 10-year period. Therefore, some 0.09 or 1% of licensed firearm holders have been murdered over a 10-year period, or an average of 0.01 per year. At 627 combined incidents of crime against firearm holders, it shows that only 2% have been affected by crime over the last 10-year period, or an average of 0.2 per year. The figures clearly show that if you are armed, criminals don't mess with you. The criminals have more advanced weapons than the police in many cases. The police and the army are held at bay for hours sometimes in a shootout. Yet we are calling on law-abiding citizens to join the fight against crime. What must they join with, Madam Speaker? Them 2 long hands, 2 stone and a cutlass? And what they must do with those? Madam Speaker, the long wait for a license sometimes criminalizes the process. Police sources say a used 9mm firearm can be had for $200,000 to $300,000 while the decent law-abiding citizen has to suffer in waiting. It is the long wait sometimes that helps to corrupt the system. We must level the playing field and give the advantage to the law-abiding person. Of course, people will say
I may not take tea sometimes to what the former minister Bobby Montague may say, you know. But what Bobby said in this one is the fact truth. And he went on to say in this video here,
hanging, the statistics show, is fit for purpose for Jamaica. It might not work elsewhere, but this 50-year study has clearly shown that hanging keeps murders low in Jamaica. As a matter of fact, Madam Speaker, we should build 4 more gallows. 1 in the west, 1 on the south coast, 1 on the north coast, and 1 in the east. With 5 gallows, most areas will be within 1 hour of one of them. So as the judge pass sentence, straight to the gallows you go. And you must be hung by your neck until you are dead, 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 or until your teeth kill. If we don't want to hang, remove it from the books. But there is a conspiracy of vested interest not to hang, but they are not bold enough to bring that amendment on the floor of this parliament and remove it. If we don't want to hang, take it off the books. Until it is removed, let us hang them by the neck until they are dead, dead, dead. We must hang, shoot, inject or electrocute them or remove it from the books.
I agree with him 150%. If the Jamaican government do not want to resume hanging in Jamaica, remove it from the books. Remove it from the books. But I believe in what Mr. Montague said. I'm going to play it again for you all to listen.
Hanging, the statistics show, is fit for purpose for Jamaica. It might not work elsewhere, but this 50-year study has clearly shown that hanging keeps murders low in Jamaica. As a matter of fact, Madam Speaker, we should build 4 more gallows. 1 in the west, 1 on the south coast, 1 on the north coast, and 1 in the east. With 5 gallows, most areas will be within 1 hour of one of them. So as the judge pass sentence, straight to the gallows you go. And you must be hung by your neck until you are dead, 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 or until your teeth kill. If we don't want to hang, remove it from the books. But there is a conspiracy of vested interest not to hang, but they are not bold enough to bring that amendment on the floor of this parliament and remove it. If we don't want to hang, take it off the books. Until it is removed, let us hang them by the neck until they are dead, dead, dead. We must hang, shoot, inject or electrocute them or remove it from the books.
Listen, I know our justice system is not fair at times, but I believe that we must do something about the rampant criminality in this country. And after you may say to me, Jeffrey, you agree with hanging, yes. But look what Paula did, the former DPP did with the Vive cartel case, where tainted jurors were used to send cartel to prison. And you have a point there. Don't get me wrong. You have a point there. You may go on and say, then suppose is it that an innocent Jamaican is before the court and he's sentenced to hang, what happened next? Because it has happened before where you send a man to the gallows to be hanged, and upon his day of hanging, you found he was innocent. You have to remove the neck, remove the rope from around his neck, or stop the execution with a needle. I agree that we need to do something about Jamaica's justice system. But my firm belief is this, that if you do not want to resume hanging in this country, remove it from the book. If you don't remove it from the book, then resume hanging. You cannot have people who commit triple murder, kill poor Miss Matty down the road who is 80-something-year-old, rape Miss Matty and kill Miss Matty, and then you are sent to prison to nyam taxpayers' money in this country. We may not agree with Bobby Montague. We may say Bobby Montague this and Bobby Montague that. I'm not taking up for the man. But what Mr. Montague said in this video from the Parliament of Jamaica, I agree with him. Hang them. From you find them guilty and it's proven that they are truly guilty, hang them. You cannot have people in this country who go around and murder innocent people and they are sent to prison to nyam taxpayers' money while you and I mourn for the loved one for our loved one who's dead. Huh? Is this the country we call the land of wood and water? Those people who are in Montego Bay now, of the 10th biannual conference, so-called conference of the Jamaican government, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, are they sitting down and asking the important questions to the Minister of National Insecurity and Injustice? Or are they sitting down and asking this high-tech commissioner of police, who is as lie as the former commissioner of police? Huh? I want you all to listen to what the former minister said. As I said before, many of you may not like Bobby Montague. I'm not taking off of Mr. Montague. But what Mr. Montague said, if they don't want to resume hanging in this country, remove it from the books. But I believe that if you find a person guilty and it's proven that he's truly guilty, not the willy-nilly fly-by-night, pitch-by-day courthouse that the former DPP was involved with, where she used tainted jurors in a case to sentence Vive Cartel. I'm not talking about that. What I'm talking about, if we have good jurors who are not tainted and prosecutors who are not tainted, and a man who raped Miss Matty at 80-something-year-old, and it can be proven that he raped Miss Matty and killed Miss Matty, hang him. And any member of parliament who commit anything in this country, hang them too. Listen to what the man said.
Crime. Madam Speaker, the other solution I have is that it is time for us to arm the society. Any decent law-abiding citizen with a clean police record, no mental issues, or domestic violence conviction should be able to acquire a gun permit within 45 days of applying. Police statistics shows that over the last 10 years, 29 firearm holders have been murdered in Jamaica. 29. In addition, a total of 627 combined major crimes, including shootings, robbery, murder lastly, have been committed against firearm holders. Madam Speaker, there are 45,000 licensed firearm holders in Jamaica today with 167,000 guns. But remember that persons have multiple licenses, multiple guns, plus there are security companies and gun clubs. There is an average of 30,000 firearm holders over the last 10-year period. Therefore, some 0.09 or 1% of licensed firearm holders have been murdered over a 10-year period, or an average of 0.01 per year. At 627 combined incidents of crime against firearm holders, it shows that only 2% have been affected by crime over the last 10-year period, or an average of 0.2 per year. The figures clearly show that if you are armed, criminals don't mess with you. The criminals have more advanced weapons than the police in many cases. The police and the army are held at bay for hours sometimes in a shootout. Yet we are calling on law-abiding citizens to join the fight against crime. What must they join with, Madam Speaker? Them 2 long hands, 2 stone and a cutlass? And what they must do with those? Madam Speaker, the long wait for a license sometimes criminalizes the process. Police sources say a used 9mm firearm can be had for $200,000 to $300,000, while the decent law-abiding citizen has to suffer in waiting. It is the long wait sometimes that helps to corrupt the system. We must level the playing field and give the advantage to the law-abiding person. Of course, people will say,
This is part 2 of what Mr. Montague said. Listen to this part.
hanging, the statistics show, is fit for purpose for Jamaica. It might not work elsewhere, but this 50-year study has clearly shown that hanging keeps murders low in Jamaica. As a matter of fact, Madam Speaker, we should build 4 more gallows. 1 in the west, 1 on the south coast, 1 on the north coast, and 1 in the east. With 5 gallows, most areas will be within 1 hour of one of them. So as the judge passes sentence, straight to the gallows you go. And you must be hung by your neck until you are dead, 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 or until your teeth kill. If we don't want to hang, remove it from the books. But there is a conspiracy of vested interest not to hang, but they are not bold enough to bring that amendment on the floor of this parliament and remove it. If we don't want to hang, take it off the books. Until it is removed, let us hang them by the neck until they are dead, dead, dead. We must hang, shoot, inject, or electrocute them, or remove it from the books.
I am in total agreement, and I will keep on saying this. It cannot be, and don't get me wrong, as I explained to you all before, that if you have a jury, a set of jurors who are not tainted like the one that the former DPP used in the Vibe cartel case, and you have enough evidence to show that they were the one who break in a Miss Matty house, rape Miss Matty at 80-something-year-old, and kill Miss Matty, why should they be in prison yamming taxpayers' money? Why should they? That's what I'm talking about. I want to show you something else too, that Jamaicans are saying. Some of them is in agreement with it, and some of them are not in agreement with it. And I want you all to look at this. Let me move this part from down here. Move this. Yes, I want you all to look at this. And let me go into this here and tell you what the Jamaican people is saying. 7 in 10 Jamaicans are expressing strong support for the use of the death penalty in the fight against crime, believing it would be effective to solve Jamaica's crime problem. An RJR Gleaner Commission Don Anderson poll found that 72% of Jamaicans agree that the death penalty would help to drive down crime in Jamaica, while 20% disagree, 8% not sure, I'm going to open the phone lines for you all to call and tell me what you think. 7 in 10 Jamaicans, and this was August of 2022. The poll was done. It said 7 in 10 Jamaicans are expressing strong support for the use of the death penalty in fighting crime, in fighting against crime. They also believe that it would effectively drive down crime. An RJR Commission group that Anderson poll found that 72% of Jamaicans agree that the death penalty would help to drive down crime, while 20% disagree and 8% are not sure. 72%. And I think that is why the former Minister of National Security, who I know is not being liked by some people on social media. I'm not saying Mr. Montague is this and Mr. Montague is that. But what Mr. Montague said in the Parliament of Jamaica, and I consider him to be a good friend. What Mr. Montague said in the Parliament of Jamaica, I agree with him, and this is what he said.
Hanging, the statistics show, is fit for purpose for Jamaica. It might not work elsewhere, but this 50-year study has clearly shown that hanging keeps murders low in Jamaica. As a matter of fact, Madam Speaker, we should build 4 more gallows. 1 in the west, 1 on the south coast, 1 on the north coast, and 1 in the east. With 5 gallows, most areas will be within 1 hour of one of them. So as the judge pass sentence, straight to the gallows you go. And you must be hung by your neck until you are dead, 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 or until your teeth kill. If we don't want to hang, remove it from the books. But there is a conspiracy of vested interest not to hang, but they are not bold enough to bring that amendment on the floor of this parliament and remove it. If we don't want to hang, take it off the books. Until it is removed, let us hang them by the neck until they are dead, dead, dead. We must hang, shoot, inject or electrocute them or remove it from the books.
Bobby Montague, easy, Hang them until their teeth kill like a dog. Listen to what he said again. This part, I love this part.
Hanging, the statistics show, is fit for purpose for Jamaica. It might not work elsewhere, but this 50-year study has clearly shown that hanging keeps murders low in Jamaica. As a matter of fact, Madam Speaker, we should build 4 more gallows. 1 in the west, 1 on the south coast, 1 on the north coast, and 1 in the east. With 5 gallows, most areas will be within 1 hour of one of them. So as the judge pass sentence, straight to the gallows you go. And you must be hung by your neck until you are dead, 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 or until your teeth kill. If we don't want to hang, remove it from the books. But there is a conspiracy of vested interest not to hang, but they are not bold enough to bring that amendment on the floor of this parliament and remove it. If we don't want to hang, take it off the books. Until it is removed, let us hang them by the neck until they are dead, dead, dead. We must hang, shoot, inject or electrocute them or remove it from the books.
Ma'am, hold on for me. Lord of mercy, there's a call on the line here asking me some questions that I can't answer. I don't see anything in the court of law that the gentleman was charged for anything. And I have to be very careful, ma'am, how you come on the radio with this.
because if them are entered again,
but hold on for me, ma'am. Hold on for me, ma'am. You heard that some child molestation case went on. Did you hear that it went into any court in Jamaica?
Well, we see indictment.
Was it? I'm asking you a question. Was it in any court in Jamaica? Did you see it in the newspaper?
I don't know.
Okay.
The paperwork.
Okay, ma'am. Well, hold on for me, ma'am. Hold on for me. This is with me. If you not go through no court for me, me not come on this platform and go talk to anybody, trouble nobody.
Not today.
Because nobody now sue me because me not have nothing. Now not some gray hair. So nobody not come on this platform and go say anybody trouble anybody. If they come sue me, I don't know nothing about it. I'm not sitting on no newspaper, I'm not no news.
But Jeffrey, so we talk about Armenian. I think we should rubbish such argument because if Jamaica will move away from the constitution with the mannequin from
with the who?
The mannequin.
The mannequin?
Yeah.
Which mannequin that? The monarch.
The monarch.
Yeah.
The king. They want to move from them. Why would Jamaica be talking about hanging? Those was capital punishment for black people. So
let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question now, ma'am. When you have notorious criminals,
like who and read?
Let me finish, ma'am. I'll allow you to speak. When you have notorious criminals going around, Mr. Reid must be involved in some embezzlement of funds. Mr. Reid a murder nobody. When you have criminals going around going murder, rape Miss Matty in her house and cut Miss Matty throat, you're saying to me that they must go in a prison because they're going to yam taxpayers' money for 3 days a meal?
Jeffrey,
answer the question, ma'am.
When you put it like that, then it's so broad. Yeah.
What kind of broad is it? It's a fact truth. When you have people in this country murdering people or 3 people murder one time, you're saying to me that we must just charge them and sentence them to 5 years in prison while the family of the deceased mourn for the rest of their life? That's what you're saying to me, ma'am?
No, I'm not saying that to you.
Okay.
I'm saying that we need to get to the food problem. The black population is under attack.
From who?
From everybody.
From their own self.
The generation is under attack. If you look on the world, when we make up only a minority, we're not the majority. We still have to preserve life. And the quality of life. I'm not saying that when somebody takes somebody's life, it shouldn't be a capital punishment. But in fact, for death, to abolish, it's supposed to go away. It's not supposed to undermine freedom. It's supposed to move away from it.
And I'm asking you, do you agree that when a man murder a person, then they must go into prison, yam taxpayers' money, 3 meals a day, while the family members of who was murdered is outside there crying every day for their loved one? Well, they never do anything. Answer the question for me, please, ma'am.
No, Jeffrey.
Oh.
No. But you need to understand as well. There's a lot of people in Jamaica walking around with mental health.
Hold on there for me.
The root problem needs to be tackled.
Hold on. They said they're not here, so hold on a minute there. Let me see something. Hold on there now. Oh, Jesus, I will drop us now. Go ahead for me now, ma'am.
No, me say there's a lot of people who walk around and with mental health issues.
Hold on there. Hold on. Something not right there. Hold on a minute for me, please. Hold on. Don't move. You have a nice topic going. You hold on there for me. Let me try to start out with something here. Because it look like they don't want you to talk. So you hold on a minute for me, please. Hold on there. I don't know what's going on here, but I'm gonna find out. Don't move. Don't go anywhere from me, please. Hold on, please. Let me figure out something here. That is in there. That is in there. That is in there. Okay. Now I know why. All right. Let's try again. Welcome back to the program, ma'am. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people in Jamaica suffering from mental health and stuff like that. So Jamaica really need to get to the root problem instead of talking about the army. We shouldn't be going back there. We're moving away from that kind of life. You understand? Me see what Tavares falls name called by rape and murder. I mean, you're not
me can't prove that, ma'am. Can you prove it? Well, if you see it in the paper, that's up to you. Me can't prove saying do nothing, ma'am. So me not.
Obviously, it's a problem. But where is the root problem? When you're trying to track back and trace the root problem, there's so many money floating around in Jamaica where can't be accounted for. Where is it going? Who instigate all of these crimes? We see people here in a Ricky Reed said about people on drugs, Lord, and this and that, and they're responsible for gambling and all these type of things. Nobody has tackled those people and all for them to get capital punishment and face the law.
Hold on there for me. Hold on there for me, ma'am. I don't know what that dickens is going on here. Hold on for me. Oh, yo. Something not adding up here.
Bluetooth connected.
All right, go ahead now, ma'am. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry about that, Jeffrey. May I say, yeah, the little poor people, the people them need to be educated. The people them need to have a reason to live because them not have no love, not that for them. Them just big and dry.
Let me ask you a question now. Is the government must show them love?
Of course, we have to start from somewhere.
So you're saying to me, hold on there for me, please. Hold on. May reason. We not quarrel. We are all right now.
Yeah, man, no problem.
You're saying to me that when me not get no love in my home, when my family member not show me no love, government must show me love.
Of course, the whole community, the whole of we have a responsibility. We have a duty. Why you think America, Kamala Harris would give the government of Jamaica how much money for invest in a youth if them never believe that the youth them can do better and become better? Why you think them would invest so much million in a Jamaican youth if them never think of hope there for them? Tell me.
So when you have programs in our community and the youths they don't come to the programs, they prefer go on the corner go dig out their hand miggle. And they prefer say, okay, it better me do chopping because I can get rich quick and buy one Mark X and one BMW and one X6 and build a house with a cherry garden.
This is where we have to have multiple things to encourage them because not everything, if you plan one program, Jeffrey, it not going to attract every child. And not everybody born to be a runner. And not everybody are going to do football. Some people want to sit down and build furniture. Some want burn coal. Some want to do different things. You have to find out what the person like and encourage them. Social intervention, that's what them need. In them home from before them born and all of these things. You understand me? The government feel the people them feel them.
I agree the government feel the people. But don't me ask that question. Don't America have death penalty?
Well, electrocute here, but America big. America can manage that.
Hello. I asked you a question. Because you mentioned
Jamaica is not America.
Ma'am, I'm not comparing Jamaica with America, ma'am. You mentioned that Kamala Harris gave Jamaica X amount of money to help with youth.
Yes.
And I'm asking you a question. Don't America have death penalty?
They have the electric chair, yes.
Whatever they have down there, okay. Don't America have a serious crime problem?
Well, them say yes, them have a serious crisis of one over there.
I know it's not all states have hanging, but some states have hanging and the electrocution to kill people and kind of something. So what you're saying to me that you don't believe in no death penalty in Jamaica at all?
None at all. Number one, Jamaica don't even have no rehabilitation for the people that were in a prison, to give them the second chance, to give them no hope. It's just like them, everybody does a
So you are saying to me, you are saying to me that when me work hard up here, so now, and go back to Jamaica, go invest in our property down there, and some hoodlums come and kill me, they must go to prison on damn taxpayer money.
No, Jeffrey, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying that we need to get to the root problem.
What is the root problem?
We need people with example. We have a government where full of peer nastiness on them name. We have Darrell Valls when name called for rape and murder.
Hello. You're not gonna let anybody sue me on this program here, you know. Whatever the gentleman did, that's his business. I'm not aware of it, ma'am.
Okay. Well, we have government. Our government, we're current right now, where them name are calling all different sort of things. And none of them now face the law. None of them, Jeffrey. Not one of them. Look for Ruel Reed and walk up and down. There's a lot of people in rob, a lot of children. A lot of children go without food. A lot of them future was stagnant because of what he do. But yet still nobody hold them accountable. And then when these children who been neglected, who people take from them a baby, and them not know no better left for themselves and turn out for turn murderer, they would say, oh yeah, you're not good, you're not this, you not deserve nothing better. But the person who actually put them in other position, they will pardon them.
How much you want to bet me, is it? That if Royal Reid go back into politics to run as a member of parliament, he win. The people go back and vote for him.
God, Jesus, this is why we need to educate the youth, make them know so them have value. We need them.
I am not saying
them have a future, them can become somebody.
I am not saying that
we need early intervention.
I am not saying that what you're saying is wrong. What you're saying makes a lot of sense. But I do not believe that when I work so hard in the cold and in the sun, in another man country, and me go back home, man no come brought down my pistol kuchikacha. Huh? My local pisa kaya. While the people of the Vumvavan and the Vumvavin have security around them 24/7. But when me come back home, this person believe that me come back with the whole of Bank of America or the whole of Bank of England or the Bank of Canada in my pocket. So they come and brought down my pistol kuchikacha house, kill me in there. Then they get nothing, you know. Then get a little pistol sitting and then gone. Yet they kill me. And it's fair for them to go to
It's not fair.
It's fair for them to go to Port Augustus or go to GP. Sit down there. Nyam 3 meals a day while my family mourn for my death. I don't believe so.
No,
them.
It's not fair. It's not fair, and it shouldn't be happening. It shouldn't be happening. We come from a moral society, Jeffrey, where we're supposed to have standard. None of these things supposed to be happening in our island.
It leaves to the people, ma'am. Our people are the one must stand up and speak out for this country. Our people are the one. Our people are the one must stand up and start depend on people in the diaspora to do things for them and start depend on say, oh Lord, Mark Golden is a savior for Jamaica because Prince Andrew now do nothing. Mark Golden is a savior for Jamaica. We're the savior for ourselves.
But me not feel like said that just killing are gonna be the answer, Jeffrey. There has to be another way.
What other way?
Jeffrey, me feel like say we need for all the government accountable. We feel like them feel way and somebody need to take a stand towards them.
Hold on for me. You're entitled to your opinion and I agree with you, you know. But what I'm saying to you, when families love this get rich mentality, when you have your son, you know your son is involved in chopping. You know your son is involved in chopping. Your son have one big paper with some number on it. And you seen him do something, and you know say chopping. But because the money is sweet, you encourage him to do it.
No, not at all.
Is that a government problem?
No, it's not. But when I said, Jeffrey, you have to understand, when you have a tiny man where come in Jamaica and him not pay no tax, yeah? And him a work people and I pay them minimum wage and I take maximum effort out of them, yeah? It will encourage people to tap. So this is what me I said, Jeffrey, we have to go to the root problem. All me I say, for agree, for disagree, there has to be another way. We can't just look for say we're going to kill them and or end them and this and that. That's not going to solve the problem. There's so many people, Jeffrey, who are not believing in themselves. Killing is it coming like nothing to them.
So when they don't believe in themselves, I go don't believe in themselves.
But we can do better as a nation. We can do better for them.
I'm asking you a question, ma'am. You said to me that they don't believe in themselves. So what you're saying to me?
You know, the system set that way enough to make them feel like them and nobody, you know. The only best thing for them to do is to go to prison because of this alone, them guarantee a plate of food.
Well,
we have to intervene with these people. We have mental health people, them need help. We can't just let them go on the road.
You're saying to me that every single Jamaican who lives below Crossroad has mental problem?
Not every one of them, Jeffrey, but there's a lot of people who walk on the street who have mental health issues. A lot of them. And no intervention for them, no support.
But not them same one, ma'am. When the man put on in green clocks and call the election, not them same one to sip political campaign, show labor rights, comrade.
That's why I say we need intervention, Jeffrey. That can't just be the answer. Can't just be the answer for so we're going to hang them.
All right, ma'am. Thank you very much. I have our next call coming in. Thank you for calling in.
All right. Blessing.
Blessing, my dear. Good afternoon. Well, good afternoon. Welcome to the Mekuta program.
Hey, Jeffrey. Good afternoon.
I am here looking and living like Mutty Perkins, my friend.
Likewise, myself, yes, sir. All right. So I've been watching your show right now, and I'm listening to a lady that was, I don't know if she was the last caller, talking about, she's mixing up all kind of things. Talking about the mental health and the government official. But you're talking about hanging, right? All right. I believe in an eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. If you are able to take somebody's life without a, reasonable cause, defend yourself, you know what I mean? You can't just look on somebody, walk in them house, take what they have and shoot you, kill you, cut your throat, rape you, and them catch you and know that it is you. What's the purpose of carrying you to jail or to prison and you did eat and fat and...
Hold on for me, caller. Hold on for me. Mr. Jackson, you said Maryland just passed what? Can you call me and give me some more details on that, please? Because I can't pick up it. I can't put it on the computer now because I'm using the computer. But can you call me and give me some more details on that? That's the numbers on the screen there. Call me, please, Mr. Johnson. Go ahead, sir. Jackson.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man. I'm saying if somebody like the police catch somebody like that, take them to court. Witness and evidence prove that he was the one. And him say yes on me. What is the justification by sending that person to prison? For a hit and fat, have high phone, have Clark's booty in there. I'll do and sit when me and you maybe out there and I'm able to do. Have Hennessy a drink. For they have them people in there outside out here support them, visit them. Is there any justification for those families who are mourning their loved ones? I don't think so, sir. So I believe...
what the lady is saying, that there should be some intervention and the government fail the people.
I'm not saying...
Why they go kill people? Government kill people and go kill people.
No, I don't agree with her. I don't agree with her.
One thing me know, you know. One thing me know. I may not say it publicly. You know, I can shut my mouth because sometimes I go say, then go put you on the other way. But I do not believe that if an 80-year-old woman is in her house, what she works so hard for, and because she go to a Western Union collect one look chip and see a penny. You must come our house, rape her, slit her throat, take the money, and you go tampering from prison with a prison because you got taxpayer money.
Jeffrey, there is no justification. And tell you the truth, I never know somebody that agree with one liberal politician, but I agree with Bobby Montague 100% with what he says. Because guess what? The law-abiding civilians are people, are citizens of the country who want a firearm to protect themselves and them property and them house, them family. They can't get it. But they are issuing out fire license, licensing to criminals. Because what? They come from big names and them they have money. Right? People have criminal records. It is said down in Jamaica, people, there are over almost what, 20,000 of them? Or 200 of them who have firearm, we're not supposed to have it. How them get it? And people who are law-abiding citizens cannot get one?
I don't know, my brother. I have a next call coming in, my friend. Thank you for calling in.
All right, so have a good day.
Same to you, man.
All right.
A pleasant good afternoon. Welcome to the Mequitar program.
Good afternoon, Mr. Jeffrey.
Good afternoon, sir. I am here looking and living like Monty Perkins, sir.
All right. Like the Vumba Van. Don't live like the Vumba Van, them.
No. Me not no money like the Vumba Van, them. Me not have money to go the Ricks go sit down and name for my anniversary. No, sir. Me not have that.
I'm telling you, after working so hard, you know, and then, you know, you guys are doing a great job in terms of Jamaica crimes and corruptions.
Yes, sir.
But I do believe that crimes and corruption can cut out in our country. We have to take it from the head. Where we start putting all these criminal leaders to prison or hang them, whatever it is, to rob much millions of dollars. Then you pass it down to the gunmen, them, the murderers, them, as them come and you find out that them kill the person for real. No doubt, you hang them, you not carry them go to no prison. Because when you carry them go to prison, Mr. Tavares, what happened is that they stay behind bars and still continue their job out the road. Them tell them friend who to go kill.
And if they find out, say, jury number one who send them Ghana prison, live down a Waterloo Avenue,
right?
Halfway Tree Road. Then go down a jury number, murder jury number one. And
family, and enter your family. And get rid of and get rid of your when you give them all bail. When Mr. Judge giving murderers bail to go there to go kill a witness, so when they come back to court the next time, there's no witness to show up because them get rid of the witnesses.
Let me tell you something. You see me? Me don't care. This is my belief. This is my views. Everybody's entitled to their views. Any man who raped a child or rape a mother and her daughters,
yes, sir,
and kill them shouldn't get no life imprisonment. They should get the death penalty immediately.
Exactly, sir. I believe in that too. I believe in that. When a man can leave him house, Mr. Tavares, and plan and say, boy, I'm going to kill Mr. Tavares tonight and him whole entire family. Come on, and then you walk road and boast and how much dope me make. No, man. Enough happen. And this is the reason why these criminals getting away with all of these things.
And
politicians won't and leaders won't put in those penalties on the books. Because no for them are criminal too, and rapists too.
Let me tell you something, sir. Jamaicans keep on saying, and even on my platform here, my good friends on this platform here, my viewers and subscribers keep on saying that Jamaica won't change until politicians go to prison. Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
These politicians know who is doing the constitutional reform, you see? They are hiding things from the Jamaican people, and they're going to push it on the Jamaican people through it. You see any Jamaicans take to the streets to demand that they must see what is going on in the Constitution?
That's what I'm saying. Everybody keep silent. Everybody keep silent. Nobody now go there go protest. Say no, this can't work.
You see anybody, if it was the great United States of America, because in the American Constitution it says we the people. If it was the great United States of America or Canada or England reforming their constitution and the people are saying it, they take to the streets. You see anybody in Jamaica taking to the streets?
No.
But if a bad man, a Dan man, rape a mother and her children and kill them, Jamaican take to the streets and burn tire for them.
Exactly.
Don't tell me nonsense on my ears. Hang them.
Man, our country is such a beautiful place to live, to go, to retire. And these politicians and murderers, just messing up the place that you work so hard overseas and come back to relax. And even your own family members set up man to come kill you too. You don't even get to spend a night in your place where you work so hard to build.
All right. Andrew Holness can't fix Jamaica's crime problem, is it?
Yes.
You believe that the People's National Party coming in to fix Jamaica's crime problem?
They can. I think they can.
So why didn't they fix it in the 1990s?
Well, I don't know. But they can if they want to. Because I think the problem is this with Andrew Holness and this crime thing, Mr. Tavares. I don't think people really thinking and watching the agendas of Andrew Holness. This man and his administration want every Jamaican to dead off. The Chinese take over our country. That is what's going on in the health system. In every sector, failing. They're not doing nothing to solve no problem for the Jamaican people.
One thing I can say, if you all do your statistics from the 1980s to the 1990s, Labour Party in power in the 1980s, PNP in power, some part of Liberty in the 1990s too. Check Jamaica's crime statistics in the 1990s. Coming up under PJ Patterson and under Bruce Golding and under Hoover Golding and kind of thing. And have any of them done anything to solve Jamaica's crime problem in this country from 1962 until now?
No, sir.
Okay.
They are just to see it. We the people have to solve the crime problem. When we know that John Brown run this next door and murder people and kill people and come in, we must give them up and stop talking about informers for dead and all them crap.
But not only that, caller. When police officers go lock up a notorious Dan, you hear the supervisor call, stand down, politician calls and look here and leave him alone. Only think Jamaica crime problem don't stop?
My God.
Tell me about PNP can solve Jamaica crime problem.
No, it can't. No, none of them can solve it. And we the people have to solve it. When police catch Dan and lock them up, murderers, politicians call the station and say, let him go and me boy that. That's why I say, Mr. T, all of the corrupted politicians, them murder. Enough of them are murderers, Them send out it on people too, Enough of them politicians, they send out it on people too.
Jamaicans need to wake up, sir. We the people, the change that we the people of our country seek,
will never come from the two political parties.
No,
We are the ones that stand up. Look at prime example, a constitution reform. And I look on the town hall meetings. How many Jamaicans is in the town hall meetings?
I think what happened, Mr. Tavares, Andrew Holness put muzzle on everybody, because when a man is going to take away your rights, your freedom of speech, you can't say Andrew Holness nah do nothing. Then you know what like a strike, because what him do, him use the police, him control the police them. If he come attack you, we attack say nah do nothing good. He might wreck the country and you must come apologize for freedom of speech.
Anybody, let me tell you something. I don't know, but anybody in the United States can talk anything about President Biden. From the not threaten, from the
don't threat.
Right, you can talk anything about President Biden. So tell me something now. Who is Andrew Holness? It is not right for you to say he must go do this and go do that to him, you know. But who is Andrew Holness that you can't say anything about?
Yeah.
When the Prime Minister of Jamaica, Michael Andrew Holness, walked out on the Jamaican people, he did not walk out on Mark Gold and the PNP. He walked out on the Jamaican people. Did he apologize to the Jamaican people?
Not even once.
Have you heard everyone want me to apologize to the Jamaican people?
None of them.
Okay.
None of them.
Tell me, said, but no, you must go apologize to who?
And you see, the police them need to get blamed too. You know,
and I don't believe. I do not. Hold on for me. I do not, and I'm not taking it for anybody. As I sit in this chair here, I do not believe it was the Prime Minister who sent nobody for lock up anybody. You have some fly-by-night, pitch-by-day police boy, you know, who believe that them are bull duppy and duppy conqueror.
True.
And they don't like the taxi drivers. Me do not believe that Anthony for lock up anybody.
Most of them have vehicles on the road, much vehicles on the road, you know. So they want to get rid of other taxi men. So for them alone to make the money. We see where these policemen even seen grown people and a boy them up on a fling back span you and me a police. So look a young boy we just graduate and gone on street and a box. All those things must stop. Those things must stop. Nobody now arrest these police and kick them out of the system. So them feel like them can go, they go abuse people.
Until me, this is with me, you know. Until me can see from the company officers of Jamaica that Jeffrey Tavares, who's in politics, own a dead house. I will not come on this platform, and who don't want to hear me talk, that's my opinion, your opinion, whatever. I will not come on this platform and say XQYZ. It's alleged that the man owned a dead house. Me not see no paper from the company office of Jamaica where for him name the penny.
Right.
And we have to be very careful because they are putting up some laws nowadays.
Yes.
On social media that will affect you in the longer run.
Yeah, so you know, anything you don't show us, you don't know. It's alleged, you know what I mean?
There you go.
I'm telling you, we are such a beautiful country. And then when you have a Prime Minister that you born and grow at Jamaica and you claim to say you're born poor, in a poor family, you come from whatever background, you could even pay pay off your student loan, and you come and deal with the same Jamaican people them like this, like dogs. You brought down them house, poor people who struggle so hard. Some of those ladies, it's sad. Some of those ladies maybe take out 2, 3, 4, 5 men. They build one room enough. They make themselves comfortable.
And when you do that, you're picking one little pitch by there, boy, who no want work. who refuse to go look at work though. If I even get a weed walker and go cut people yard, now come brought along my house, kill my wife and pitney. And if you got name taxpayer money.
Go behind bars, go. I said, Mr. Tavares, as far as I see, the justice system, judges, lawyers, everybody feel the Jamaican people them in the justice system. Everybody feel the Jamaican people them. So me think what people need to do now start take up justice in them, and you can't kill my family, my son, innocently for nothing at all, rape that and kill them. Then we deal with you too.
I heard the People's National Party senator, who is a former trade unionist, I think, no, he's still a trade unionist, Lambert Brown said, but anybody going after him house, go kill after him wife and pitney, a jungle justice in the tech, and he talk it right in the parliament of Jamaica.
But it's true. It's true because you carry them to court, nothing now come out because that the one they buy out case. That the police they not carrying statement properly, or police can't be found, that can't be found, and your one entire family wipe out.
I said it already and I say it again. Yes, you have some young people leaving UWI and they can't find any job to do that is qualified for them. They only have to stick to what they call it, call center jobs. You have some young men in Jamaica who was not as educated as those of the Vumba and the Vumba. They do not want to go and work. If it's even to ask a family member to buy you a weed whacker to go and chop somebody yard. Let me make something clear to you. You see this boy here? Who's doing right there, sir? When I first went to the Cayman Islands to work, a doctor friend of mine, who's like a father to me, owned a medical center, you see? He called me and said to me, Jeffrey, I'm not build a hospital. And I said to him, Dr. T, you're coming up, you know? And I went to Cayman.
Yeah.
And when Dr. Tomlinson leave his medical practice, you know where Dr. T is? Down at the construction site.
Yeah.
Mixing cement, planting flowers like anything. That's where I start from.
My God.
So there's nothing wrong in getting your hand dirty.
No, nothing wrong.
Some of us believe that certain work not good for we. But when you come to the great United States of America, they walk dog and take up dog, you know what?
That's true, man. You know, I'm gonna get off the line because maybe somebody is going to call.
Nobody now calls for talk.
You know, one of the things I said, Mr. Jeffrey Tara, the thing about it is that I have never heard from me born until now, I see politicians, leaders. I have never seen all these crimes going around. I have never seen one of these prime minister lobby go on them trail where them going to the communities and I tell people to vote for them and all kind of. I have never heard one of them go out and tell the bad man them and the band them say, look here, put down on a gun, stop kill off on each other, stop kill off people, it's your own, love each other, love on your own. Stop it. I've never heard it.
Why should they go and tell them when them see you and give them the gun? Why wrong with them?
So, not until when these prime ministers and politicians start going at the communities then now and start telling them, so what you know, put on the gun and stop killing off on one another.
By the way, as I talk about them, I have something to speak about. Hold on for me. So Jeffrey, are you friends of Dr. Tomlinson too? Why are you asking that? Let me say something too now. On Saturday, I heard some people on the other side saying that Wilfred Rattigan, Herb Nelson, Rupert Francis, myself and others must stop sending guns in barrel to Jamaica. I want to ask those people on the other side, have you ever seen any of us putting a gun in a barrel? And okay, if we send a gun to Jamaica in barrel then, Why is it that the authority at the airport don't do something about it? The guns are coming in. When do they stop the guns from coming in? My friend, I have an next call coming in. I'll talk to you here.
Bless you, my brother.
Yes.
God bless.
Yeah. A pleasant good afternoon. Welcome to the Mequitar program. You're calling from London, England.
Jeff.
Yes.
Yes, sir. You know what is the problem in Jamaica now? And that's why crime will never controlled by politicians and no government. Right. You can't have a police force that running taxi service in Jamaica. It doesn't happen in England, doesn't happen in America, no Canada. As long as you carry the badge with the government, you can.
Sir, with all fairness, I know that's your opinion and you're entitled to your opinion, but you know some things that may not take up in no police, you know. But the Jamaican police don't get a good salary, you know, sir.
Yes, but we're going to come back to that now. I make sure in the crime section I deal with. Right. That's why the corruption cannot stamp out. That the police have to eradicate themselves by making money and decide. Right.
So hold on now. So okay. So if they eradicate themselves and making money on the side, how they survive when you go trip and tape when the government get them?
Yeah, but listen, Jeff, we're going to come to that, Jeffrey.
All right, go on. Go on, man. Right. Go on, talk me. I listen to me, brother. Go ahead.
What happened? No politician in England can have a second job. You understand me? But no business in Canada run long as they're inside the house to represent the people. They're paying them already. So you can have two jobs. You have to give up one. Right. Into all of the crime in Jamaica, politician and policeman always there to pull straight, to get off a murder charge, rape charge. It cannot happen in England. The justice system have to divide itself from the government body.
Let me ask you a question.
Let
me ask you a question.
Yes.
How much a month do you think a police officer get a month time?
I know they don't get the good wages. I know that. We know that in Jamaica, right? But what I'm simply saying to you, we have to deal with one problem first. We can't deal with the teacher, doctor, lawyer, the medical. You have to deal with the most important thing causing the biggest problem in Jamaica is the crime problem.
So when you said stopping police from making money on this side, I wish have that. I am not going to tell you that, you're not right. You're absolutely right. But what would you do to stop them from making money on this side?
Pay them good salary. And make them, and police can be political in England. Police cannot be political.
Hold on.
Yeah.
We cannot be comparing Jamaica with England.
What do you think about Barbados? Yeah, okay. We go to Barbados. We go to Barbados. We go to Dominica then. We go to the neighbor. Barbados, they pay them police good money. Dominica pay them police good money. You can go to Dominica and Barbados. Police don't work with him gun. It's Martin them was to work with. I can tell you that. That may be in those places. That is there my half come from. They be in this place there every year. Right. What I'm simply saying to you now, you have to divide the police force. The police force cannot mix with the government department. They work alongside. For example, just explain to you. Any police can arrest any politician in England. You understand what I'm saying to you? Any police can give any politician a ticket in England. All right. For example, the Prime Minister in England gets a ticket from a police officer.
I know that.
And you go and get reward to step up in line. In Jamaica, which police could give a politician a ticket? He lost his job.
No. Hold on a minute. I know one of them who gave a ticket and he go to court. He got a traffic ticket and he went to court.
Well, all right.
It happened right in Kingston.
I maybe don't hurry up.
It happened right in Kingston. I don't remember where in Kingston, but an inspector, no, not an inspector, and I think it was a sergeant, yes. He was doing something in Halfway Tree, and he gave a politician a ticket. And the politician, the politician went down to Halfway Tree. It was Halfway Tree or wherever he went, and paid for the ticket.
All right. Okay.
It was back in the 1990s, I think.
All right. Okay. And me going to explain this. You know what? You don't really understand. Jamaican must understand this. Right. If you do not control the police force and clean up the police force, you cannot control crime in Jamaica. And we could spend money, we could build prison, we could end them. Listen, we can't not going to solve the problem.
We can't blame the police alone, you know, sir. Can't blame the police alone. Yes, the police have their problem and their fault and so forth. We can't blame police alone.
But is there with all the law of the land?
They must do what?
Take a vote to do that.
They must do what?
They take a vote to withhold the law of the land.
To withhold the law of the land?
Enforce the law. All right, sorry, to enforce the law.
They made an oath to uphold and defend the law of the land.
Yes, sir. Right. Yes, sir. Thank you for clarifying that. That's what I mean.
Yes.
What I'm simply saying to you now, right? I mean, just to give you an example now.
Yes, sir.
I live in England, and if me is a police officer and me have any too much noise shouting in my house, my brother loses his job for that, you know, as a police officer in England, you know. You can't be around with too much disturbance there. You play a part. Me I tell you, once you're a criminal, you're not allowed to go to a policeman's yard, a lawyer, or a barrister, and a jury. You cannot go there. They cannot hang around criminal. Me can tell you that they get black for that.
Let me ask you a question. Do you believe that Jamaica should resume hanging?
To solve the problem, but what you're going to find now, you're going to find innocent people get hung. And that's where the problem is. If you can find it, if you find the culprit and hang him, I do have a problem. But you have how much innocent man in prison that don't do the crime. You have to balance. You have to balance it, you know, Jeffrey. Right? I would like that to enforce, but innocent people get caught up into it. Right? If majority of people in prison is innocent people in prison. We know that. Right? But what I'm simply saying to you, Jeffrey, look into this, Jeffrey. In England, if you commit a crime, you cannot join the police force. You cannot drive a public transport. You can't do nothing where children is. Don't look at that example.
You know, you
can't go into a library. You can't go to a library where children is. You just explain something.
Sorry, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute, my brother. Remember those? You know why I'm laughing? It's because you're correct, sir. You have some Jamaican police officers now who they go back into the police to take revenge of people, you know. You have some notorious, and I apologize to nobody. You have some good policemen and women. I have some in Nazi and notorious gangsters and criminals. Go ahead for me, sir. I want to serve you again. Continue.
All right. What happened now? Let me just give you an example now. Right. Jamaica taxi service the license supposed to give by the police, just like in England. And I can tell you this, right? Once you involved into any crime, you cannot drive a public transport in England. No matter how good, no matter what money you is, you cannot get a license to drive it. It's simple. These are the laws that's supposed to end for all right. For example, now, All right. Look on thing they read. Let's just give an example. His name called up in corruption. You think him could have gone to parliament consider a backbench in England? Because me just give you a illustration.
So hold on
He
here.
could never go to the house.
When did he go in the house and sit as a backbench?
Boss, you see him in a party, make me seem like house.
No.
So
He was never in the Parliament of Jamaica, sir. He was at a political rally of the Jamaica Labour Party in East Rural St. Andrew. It wasn't the Parliament of Jamaica.
Well, maybe we get it wrong then.
It was never in the Parliament of Jamaica, sir.
But he's not supposed to be so up in case. He bring this truth in England, you bring this code into the Parliament.
Sir, you keep on saying the Parliament, sir. He'd never go in the Parliament when he was fired.
The party, time.
Well, to
all right. The party.
He can go to the party and sit down all he want. Nothing to do with us.
Well, to be honest, I don't know the standard of things happening in Jamaica, but I'm just giving you an example, right? These are the things that we allow people to break the law and don't pay for it, and that's where the problem is in Jamaica. And once you start to clean up, all right, we just have to
I have to go now, sir. I have a next call coming in.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
All right, thanks very much for calling in.
Yes, sir. All right. Okay. All right.
Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to the Mekuta program. I am here looking and living, sir.
Yeah. Okay, so the reason why I called Jeffrey, a lot of people I know a few people call in and they have their discussion, but we're not straying away from the point. The point you're making is about capital punishment.
Yes.
And we understand that. I'm going to be real with you. I am a supporter of capital punishment. With all due respect, there are people in this chat that I see. The problem with capital punishment, Jeffrey, when it comes to Jamaica, is the investigative process, the trustworthiness of police officers carrying out the investigation, and the biases within the court system. Because I've heard people during one caller earlier was talking about the prison system and prisoners getting champagne and stuff like that. We all know that the warders do that. No matter what people might think, it has to pass through the warders. We're not going to go into the political mumbo jumbo either, because your female caller who had called, she mentioned a few politicians. Even though we use the word alleged, there are those of us who know that one particular individual is very, 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 very at the top of the scale when it comes to being involved in a certain situation, which I won't mention his name. His name was called earlier. What we're talking about is more than once during your conversation, you mentioned about the 80-year-old lady being raped and stuff like that. That resonates with me. You understand? I have seen cases where two children were killed by gunmen in retaliation of a situation. Jeffrey, my point is, and my respects to Andrea and a few people in the chat, if you commit a crime and you're caught, the investigative process proves that it is you. You're killing the elderly. You're killing people out of just wantonly murdering people. Yes, you should receive the capital punishment. I might sound controversial, but I stand my ground with that 100%. The problem with Jamaica, Jeffrey, is that the politicians, the gentleman that you had earlier talk about police officers in England and talk about police officers in Jamaica, Dominica. Jeffrey, Jamaica has a history of violence. So to say, I remember days, Jeffrey. I remember days when police officers used to do beat and foot. One carried a gun and a handcuff. One carried a baton. You understand? And you left training school. It was two constables working together. Jamaica has a history of violence. The thing is, throughout every country throughout the world that there is capital punishment, well, mainly the United States, because the various states have capital punishment, they have proven on more than one occasion that police officers have falsified evidence against people and they go on they're sentenced to death. I can, case in point, I can tell there's one individual who's out now. He wrote a book that the police officers told him to his face, we are going to make sure you go to prison for that murder, knowing he did not commit the murder. So let's be real in ourselves. Everywhere where there are police officers, it doesn't matter if you're in UK, you're in Canada, you're in the States, no matter where you are in the world, Jeffrey, police officers will falsify reports. This is not something that we guess on. You're talking about individuals that are civilians placed in uniform. In the case of Jamaica, you're there to serve, protect, and reassure. No, we know their biases, but who are the purporters of the crime, the criminal, who put the guns in the hands of individuals? I listened to your program very intently before I called, and there was one individual who mentioned about the fact that, politicians' name and stuff like that, and we have to use the word allege. If your name is called in a situation that the world can see and it says you're guilty, that's a different situation.
Thank you.
You understand? Because Chang's name is in WikiLeaks. He's said to be aligned with individuals. That's in WikiLeaks. So it's something that everybody can go and search for themselves.
Right.
Now, there are other individuals that their names have been called. If we see proof of it, if we see it placed on a platform where we can read it and see it, well, that is totally different. You understand? But again, I say, Jeffrey, who are the purporters of the crimes in Jamaica and the communities? Who created the dance? Who put people and their life at edge? Another thing that I disagree with your caller with, because we all have our opinions.
Yes.
I don't think that if a constable is carrying home 90,000 a month, a constable say he's still on probation. After completing his probationary period, he might be taking home 110,000, 115,000 in Jamaica. If he has a wife or a girlfriend and he wants to do a small business, what is wrong with that? His salary can hardly even maintain his lifestyle, especially if you're talking about a constable that have 2 kids, 3 kids, because we currently have a health minister who is asking people to have more kids. So this is why I try to stay away from that's why I try to stay away from the political side of it, because I notice oftentimes, Jeffrey, when we talk about something, it takes a left turn.
Yes.
Because people are irate and people are upset. So I'm sticking to the point about capital punishment. So I know there are people here in the chat. I see a few people here that I know, and they might be passionate about it. And we say God says don't do this, and God is for this and God is for that. But it resonates with me when I see men killing children, killing the elderly, killing anybody for that matter. You understand? And there is evidence, concrete, solid evidence. Per case in point, Zeke's sitting in prison right now. Zeke is known. This is not something I'm questioning you. I serve Jeffrey. Zeke is known. This is not something I question the people in the chat. Zeke is a murderer. He's a rapist. He sleeps with both male and female. The disappearance of 2 young men until this day has never been investigated by hierarchy of the JCF because Zeke is aligned to politician. You see the biases within the system. The same thing applied to Dodos. The Tivoli Gardens have their own court and sentencing system. Everybody know that. 1980, Jeffrey. 1980 alone. I remember seeing over 100 bodies in a pit. I'm not asking the people in the chat, I'm telling them I was there present and see those bodies as a young constable. Young constable. Yes.
Let me ask you a question, sir. And before I ask you the question, thanks for your service to our people and the nation of Jamaica. But when you were in the police force, sir, is it the police force or the JDF?
The JCF, the Jamaica Constabulary Force.
When you were in there, sir. Is there any changes could be made when you're in there to really make the Jamaican people have more respect for the JCF?
Some changes could be made, and changes were being made, Jeffrey. Don't let anybody tell you that changes were not being made. Jeffrey, I myself participated in a lot of community-based programs. I did a lot of things in a lot of communities. I worked mobile reserve and I was involved with a lot of community programs. I was around a lot of individuals. Case in point, I tell you, I remember going, I won't name the community. I went into a particular community when there was a situation where we needed information. We got everything down to the toilet paper where the individual used, because we retrieved those guns. You understand what I'm saying, Jeffrey? The thing that is happening, Jeffrey, is that, and it goes right, you see, every time, Jeffrey, we have a conversation. When I say we, people in general, it goes right back to the politicians. Yeah. It's the interference, Jeffrey, of politicians in the communities where the police hands are tied oftentimes doing their investigations. Jeffrey, I'm telling you this. Okay, people might have their biases. There are approximately 13,000 police officers serving in Jamaica right now. You understand? My biggest problem is they should not have aligned both services together. The JCF, Jamaica Constabulary Force, should be separate from the Special Constabulary Force. They incorporated both of them. You understand? And that is one of the big pet peeves that I have. You understand? Both branches should be separate, and both branches carry out the task that they're there to perform. You understand? Because I want to hold you up. I know other people might want to call it.
Hold on. You are educating me on something, and I want you to finish your point. Because I have to ask you a question. Because it says 13,000 police serving right now, and I want to ask you a question to finish. Go ahead.
Yes, approximately, right? Yes. So, you know, Jeffrey, we look at, because the thing is with Jamaican society, Jeffrey, is that people have a thing within themselves and then say, you know what, I don't like police. Fear, that's fine. You don't have to like police. But the thing about it is that why is there constant interference by politicians within the services of the Jamaica Constabulary Force? If here's something I'll tell you, Jeffrey, what the government should do. Okay, so you have Halfway Tree, Huntsby, Crossroad, you have all these stations. They should have specialized teams in every police station. You understand? Every police station. So if there's 50 members or 40 members, might be a little exaggerated, you have a specialized SWAT team, a task force, Jeffrey, that if those officers are going on operation, you have a select team of men that go along with these officers to perform their duties. I am sure there are marksmen too within the JCF, because I am a marksman and I'm not ashamed to say it. I have that skill. But what I'm saying is, if we people think oftentimes that you're gonna say, well, you're gonna be judge and jury. Absolutely not. If you take on the police, Jeffrey, if you take on the police as a purporter of an element of someone who commits crime, you take on the police, then you receive what you deserve. You understand? Because people must not be ostriches and bury their head in the sand. There are individuals out there, Jeffrey, that if they come to rob you, they are going to kill you. Especially if the situation is something set up and somebody look at them and say, see, that individual, so and so about that person, get rid of him. They're not asking questions twice. They are going to kill you. So someone says, well, okay, you can't use fire, fight fire. Again, I say, people in the chat, with all due respect to you, I support it. I support hanging. I do. And the reason why is that I know and I've seen gregarious acts committed, Jeffrey, against people of Jamaica and against people in the community, that these individuals who committed them don't deserve. For me, this is my opinion, you know, not everybody in the chat's opinion. You're not going to go and sit down and eat 3 meals a day. For me, a piece of shit like Zeke's should be hung by the neck until he's dead. The same thing applies to Dodos. The same thing applies to that individual who killed a good inspector, a senior officer friend of mine. These individuals should not be sitting in prison, Jeffrey. And yes, people in the chat are free to be upset with me, and that I understand. But when you're going out there and it's not like these people don't know. People in the community know that some of these guys, they kill 3, 4, 5 people and they brag. One of the biggest advantage we have now is social media, where some of these morons go on social media and they brag about the crimes they committed, even if they had gone before the court system and they get a 10-year or 20-year. Here they go and they brag. Now, community, the Prime Minister, I won't even touch that because no government of Jamaica, this is historical. No government of Jamaica has ever been able to suppress crime. Criminality and crime has been with us since, if people are biblical, Adam and Eve. But I'm talking about the amount of crime, the murders that are committed. It can be lowered, Jeffrey. Yes. That's what I'm saying. It can be lowered. You need intel gathering. You need good cooperation between the police and the public. You need interaction between the police and the public. Now, someone mentioned Jeffrey about saying stuff about the Prime Minister. But look here.
Yes, we ask you that.
We have a Prime Minister, Jeffrey. We have a Prime Minister in all truth. This is very petty. He's very childish, and we have to realize that. And nobody will know my political views, which party I would vote for. But what I'm saying, Jeffrey, if you are in a hot seat, you're on a platform where you're taking calls or people are having a conversation with you. Many people within the chat are going to make a comment or say something that, Jeffrey, it does not sit well with you, but that is fine. You decide to take the hot seat. Because that's what you're there for. True. Now, if someone says the Prime Minister have a big nose, a big head, or he's a liar, or he's evil, or he's corrupt, so what? People are going off what they see. Because, Jeffrey, let's be real, my friend. If you said you never have anything throughout your lifetime and you're going to politics, people are looking at the salary that you make. Okay, let's play the devil's advocate. The Prime Minister makes 120,000 a year, are in that ballpark, right? So the Prime Minister can clap back and say, listen, I've been in politics 16 years and I'm making 120,000 a year. You understand? US. So how can you say I don't have this and I don't have that? Let's play the devil's advocate. Well, maybe he's a good saver and his wife is making 100,000 a year US. So she's a good saver too. So he said, what stop you? How dare you tell me I can't have 20 million in my account? I'm not God. I'm not going to judge you. So, okay, that's fine. But the thing I have a problem with, Jeffrey, is when I see police going people's, if one make a comment about the Prime Minister and the police is going to go on his phone, that individual, I know him well, I know him well. He's not clean. Just like a lot of I see, and I won't call names. That's I keep that. I keep things. I would never do that. I see another police officer, well known, bad cop, and now he's into politics. So here's the thing about it, Jeffrey and people in the chat. Am I going to say Ford is an hypocrite? I mean, I didn't say Ford do anything because he's in politics. He supports the People's National Party. And I've told individuals that Ford, I'm not a fan of Ford. But he's in the People's National Party campaigning and doing stuff. Am I going to say he shouldn't be? Absolutely not. I'm not God because Ford fought crime. But I've heard people on platform talk about other things that Ford is aligned to. Am I going to, we have to say alleged. Because, Jeffrey, the thing is, we have to look at the overall situation that plays before us, Jeffrey. Remember, Jeffrey, there are currently 229 people in your chat. And if you say to each and every one of them, listen, I'm going to leave the 229 of you here and now, and you put 400 cookies in a jar and you say, I'm leaving the room, and you said, nobody touch the cookies. And there is a rush, something happened. I guarantee you someone is going to dip their hand in the cookie jar. Oh, yeah. Guaranteed. And that is the problem, Jeffrey, that we see happen in Jamaica. There's a stagnation of involvement of politicians in the Jamaica Constabulary Force. You said there was one situation where a police officer gave a politician a ticket, and I laughed when you said it because you said it was in the 90s. Jeffrey, I dare you try it now. I know an individual who call a station and tell the inspector, say the constable gave a man a ticket, and the constable was berated by the inspector. Jeffrey, I'm not asking you, I'm telling you. And I got very upset. And I cussed out the inspector myself too. I said, what kind of foolishness? I had to use expletives. I said, what kind of foolishness is that? He committed an infraction. So, Jeffrey, we can all play judge and jury, Jeffrey, and we can say we're specialists in this and specialists in that. But a lot of people do not know the inner workings of the JCF and how it operates and the things that the members have to go through. Because, Jeffrey, listen, I have said before, Jeffrey, if you have a constable, right? Before his probationary period. Because remember, you know, when you graduate, it doesn't mean you're safe. If you have not done the proper procedures and follow proper procedures and make sure that you do right in the eyes of the senior officers, you're not going to stay in the force. Your probationary period, after that, you're gone. You understand? No, you've completed your probationary period and you're working. Now, what the Prime Minister, I'd say the government, because I don't want to focus too much on the Prime Minister, because he's very thin-skinned. What you do, you provide housing. You give a constable a 1-bedroom, and if you sell a 1-bedroom, living room, bathroom, give him piece of land, give him the option of expanding on his house. A constable that is married and have a wife and 2 children, you give them a 2-bedroom and make it livable, Jeffrey. That's what I'm saying. This is why I try to steer away from the Jeffrey.
And that is why, reason. And that is why, my brother, when I hear people come on this platform and talk, the police getting good pay and teacher getting good pay, what do you call good pay? What on earth you people call good pay?
That's what Jeffrey.
When you have members of parliament, and let me say something, you know, you have some good members of parliament in the both sides of the fence, you know. Don't get me wrong.
Absolutely.
Do not get me wrong. But you have some on this, you have some of them on both sides of the fence, and very little and nyami.
Yeah.
You see? But when you have police officers living in barracks, or what they want to call it, can't go home. Because if they go home, then I have no gun to go home with. They've been taking the same taxi man and wouldn't get ticket too. That make any sense? I want to ask you this question, caller, before we go. Jamaica has 13,000 police officers, you said, both men and women. 13,000.
Yes. And this along with district constables, yes, law enforcement overall, yes.
Do you believe at this present time and moment where Jamaica's crime pandemic is at an all-time high, do you believe that the government of Jamaica should take members of the JCF and members of the JDF to send to Haiti to solve Haiti's crime problem?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not, Jeffrey. Absolutely not. That's something that the UN should deal with. Before I go, Jeffrey, I want to big up a good friend, someone who I respect a lot, Ups in your chat. Because I mean, yes, but absolutely not, Jeffrey. Let me tell you something. Deal with Jamaica's situation first. Jeffrey, let me share something with you before I go. I worked 1980 as a young constable, 18 years old, Jeffrey. And I had a constable died in my arms, 1980.
Jesus.
You understand? Died in my arms. He got shot in the head. Died. The last thing he said before he closed his eyes, tell my mother I love her. And shut down Gold Street. You hear me tell you, Jeffrey? That's why I'm so passionate. And this is why I despise, Jeffrey, let me tell you something. You will never find another human being like me that despise certain politicians in Jamaica. Jeffrey, I know names. I'm not going to call any name on your program. I'm telling you, there are politicians in Jamaica, Jeffrey, that are parasites, and I'll spell it and I'll put it in black form. And let me tell you something, Jeffrey, and people in the chat, lay aside your malices, because we can only have peace with God. I know a lot of you are not supporters of capital punishment, but let me tell you, friends, anyone that goes into a house and kill a 80-year-old mom, a 70-year-old grandfather, a child, a member of the public, rob them, kill them, rape. Jeffrey, I tell you something, as a matter of fact, not even talking about that, to show you how worthless the Jamaica government is, you don't even have a pedophilic registrar. All individuals, whether pedophiles and politicians, I don't care who you are. If you go into a community, the people should know. Let me tell you, Jeffrey, I moved and I worked in corrections for a short time, and I do other things. And let me tell you this, the worst I've ever seen, Jeffrey, throughout my lifetime in Jamaica is them abolishing the Suppression of Crime Act. You can go and do a research on the Suppression of Crime Act and you'll know when the Suppression of Crime Act was put in place, Jeffrey. If you drop a raid anywhere in Jamaica, you don't have to notify anybody. Jeffrey, you're supposed to wake up in a community and wake up in a curfew. The companies that you work for, they give you IDs, and if someone come to you and say, officer, you go work, where do you work? You have the people for the job. You contact the workplace to verify if the individual works there. If the person have an ID, because they can falsify IDs, you understand? You make sure that the information you get is correct. Recently, an individual was caught with police logo, ID made out regarding JCF, bulletproof vest, license plate. You see, Jeffrey, the thing is, let me tell you, Jeffrey, when you see, let me tell you, I'm passionate, Jeffrey. Let me tell you what I hate. When the truth hits people, they see it as negativity, and that's the problem. Jeffrey, if you commit a traffic infraction and you get a ticket, don't fight the constable. A lot of people know they're speeding and they get a speeding ticket and they fight with the constable. I seen a JP, Jeffrey, cuss out a constable, and the sergeant that was there is someone that I know, and he's standing there supporting the justice of the peace, who is cussing out the constable, and the JP is telling the constable, boy, your salary where I make, and showing off and carrying on. Jeffrey, me, I lick out your teeth out of your mouth.
I tell you one thing.
This is why I left, because Jeffrey, let me tell you something. I never took bullshit. Ups can tell you that. And few people in Andrea trust me, because I have spoken to individual. I don't take bullshit from nobody, Jeffrey. I am there to serve, protect, and reassure. You understand what I'm saying? And
let me ask you this question, though, my good friend. When you were there, compare the JCF to now. Do you believe that the JCF is given enough tool by this current administration to see if they can stem the crime problem in Jamaica? And
no.
hold on there, You talk about the Suppression of Crime Act, where you're not supposed to tell anybody say having a curfew. Do you believe that this government is telling the people about the curfew because they want the hoodlums them to go somewhere else?
Absolutely. 100. You hit the nail right on the head. Listen, I might not be a fan of yours, I'm not saying I disagree with you, but let me tell you this, Jeffrey. You know the purpose of intel gathering and putting undercover officers on the ground?
Oh yes.
It's to protect the public. Jeffrey, when you get information, okay, say someone come to you and said, listen, you have your intel people on the ground, and someone say, Mr. Jeffrey, I heard your 20 gun them just drop at Drunkross Street. Drunkross Street is situated in the community of Nannyville. You see, when you go to your trusted people, you go forward and you put in place whatever is necessary to get those guns off the street. We're not talking about killing people, Jeffrey. And this is the problem where a lot of people get things misconstrued. You're not talking about killing people. You're talking about the eradication of crime and getting criminal elements off the street. I heard an individual on a platform call in and said a politician, and I won't call his name on your program with all due respect, gave his nephew a gun. Jeffrey, I want you and the people to think about this for a minute. Just think for a minute. So here we have politicians that are there to serve the people. You're there to provide, make sure they get shelter, water, whatever it is. And when you're telling me you're representing the people and you give an individual a gun to go and commit crime, Jeffrey, the crime can be committed against your family. The crime can be committed against the police. The crime can be committed against anyone in our society. And you're telling me that when people stand up and talk truth, you're upset. The one thing that bothers me, it irritates me to the core. Why not give the police officers the access that the public can see them wearing body-worn cameras? That would change and make a lot of changes, Jeffrey, for what is going on in Jamaica right now. It would make a lot of changes. Where is the resources? Jeffrey, when you have, just look at this, Jeffrey, just even if people in the chat don't agree with me, I want them to think about this for a minute.
Yes.
When you have a minister of national security, I'll repeat again, when you have a minister of national security that is tied, we're not talking about allegations now, we're talking about information that you can access on the internet, because they're not going to put fictitious stuff there. Trust me, they don't. And this national security minister is aligned to criminal elements, Jeffrey. And you just think, Jeffrey, just think about this. Say, so I gather intel on Rosemary King in the chat. Just use her as an example.
Yes.
And the information I have is that Rosemary King is aligned to Drunkro gang. They're known to be rapists, killers, murderers, pillagers, you name it.
And money
Think
laundering.
about this, Jeffrey. And money laundering. And I am gonna go into a secret meeting with Horace Chang. No, people, just tell me, just look into it for me right now. How would I go into a meeting with a man like Horace Chang? And this man, Jeffrey, I've never, I'm not a hater.
And you know the hurtfulest thing about it, sir? The gentleman we spoke about, Jamaica's world-class Minister of National Insecurity and Injustice, he's also the Deputy Prime Minister and the Deputy Minister of Defense.
Exactly.
And I want to ask you this question, sir. When you were there,
yes,
they bring in the media to say, okay, we find how much gun down Mountain View, how much gun on the National Stadium property. But you have never seen them destroying the gun. You have never seen them bringing the media at the army, whatever they want to call it, to destroy the gun. Is it that Jamaica doesn't have a place to destroy the guns, sir?
But it's simple, Jeffrey. I was, and any senior man that retired now can tell you this. I was on an operation where I was there on the boat with them when they dumped some guns in the 80s in the Caribbean Sea.
That's where they dumped the gun?
Yes, they dumped them, yes. I was there standing when they were throwing them overboard.
Hold on there for me. So you're saying to me, do you know if Jamaica has a machine that destroy the guns that pick up from off the road?
They can provide that machine. So they can provide the machine or dump them in deep waters, Jeffrey. If they are trustworthy enough, because listen, the amount of gun for Jamaica, the amount of gun, it's just like when they used to raid weed. You understand? But let's stick to the gun. They can, if they don't have a grinding machine to grind them up, and they should have, they can just go out into the ocean, bring the media with them, bring whosoever they want to bring with them, and dump them overboard.
So okay.
It happens. Dump them overboard.
Okay,
go to the deep. They know the depth of the sea out there. Well, this is why I said they should not have incorporated the ISCF and the JCF, because member in your chat knows that the ISCF members, they would deal with issues as it relates to, like, surrounding the island, as in access, as in border issues, the waters, situation like that. Just run it by in simplified form.
So hold on there for me now, because me kind of daft, I don't really have so much sense sometimes.
No, that's fine. No, that's fine. We're talking, we're reasoning.
Because I keep on asking the question, why they can't bring members of the media to the area where they grind up the gun or melt up the guns. What you're saying to me now, in the 1980s, what they did was to take the guns out in the middle of the Caribbean Ocean or the Atlantic, wherever ocean it is, and dump the gun out there.
The deep waters and dump them. And I'll even jog your memories a bit. In the 1970s, going back, because there was a program that I did regarding the certain things. Won't say that part. I leave that out. So Prime Minister Michael Manley gave a reprieve, and I'm gonna jog your memories. There might be senior people in here. When I say senior people in their 60s, like myself, that know about this. Michael Manley gave Michael Manley, yes, I am. Michael Manley gave a reprieve, Jeffrey. Yes. And when Michael Manley gave the reprieve, he said, anybody who have legal guns, no questions asked. Bring in the guns. You can take it to a church, you can take it to a police station. Mm-hmm. And I was a young man at the time. And people in here should remember this. And let me tell you, no one was abused by the police, because I have family members and friends that mentored me throughout my years as a constable. The people that I still look up to, quite a few have passed. Quite a few of them I still. Let me tell you, there was a deputy commissioner Mr. Harrison, may God rest his soul. Even Mr. Ricketts, those men were men that I respect. Commissioner Ricketts, the most beautiful, one of the most beautiful commissioners. A lot of people didn't like him, but if you get to know him, Mr. Edward Harrison, Assistant Commissioner, Mr. Ricketts worked under him before Mr. Ricketts was promoted. Beautiful people. There are so many I could mention. And let me tell you this, Jeffrey. You see, if people, if the government, and I'll say this without water in my mouth, you see, if these politicians just leave the JCF alone.
Yes.
Just leave the JCF alone. Leave the JCF and let them perform their task. Let the members do their job. No, Jeffrey, I'm not saying you won't have corrupt officers, because I see someone in the comment that said, well, you expect the police not to be corrupt when they're not properly paid. Jeffrey, let's be real. How the hell can you give a constable $1,000 a month to survive? How can you do that? $1,000 a month. Seriously, Jeffrey. Seriously. And yet, so much money go missing. This is why, Jeffrey, I steer away from the political areas, the political stuff that relates to Jamaica. Because once you touch it, people get up into their feelings, Jeffrey. You have a JCF, Jeffrey, that up to 500 members are leaving a year. This is why there is such a recruitment drive on right now. I'm sure, because I get notifications every day. They're going to the schools. They're recruiting officers. Because you know why? People don't understand. They start with you at 17 and 18 because they work on your young mind and tell you the advantage that you have as a young man or woman going in the JCF. You learn over time. Knowledge is power. So if you don't know about the sections and subsections as it relates to criminology, you will learn them over time if you're serious about the job. If you're going there to hustle, that's a different thing, Jeffrey.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you this question though. Are you aware of the case with Corporal Rowan James and the JCF?
Yes. Travesty of justice that was done to him. It's an embarrassment, Jeffrey. And let me tell you this. Those who do that to Mr. Jeffrey, they will pay. I have the names of those individuals who they moved. I get the list of even new people appointed. I get a list. I keep communicating. You'll be surprised to know the communication I have. I talk to people every day.
Hold on. Don't give out too much of your secret, man. May have to talk after here.
No, I won't. But I'm just saying what they did to James. No, look here, brother. Look here. Let's be real. James is representing members of the JCF. Okay, you're not gonna find everyone in accordance with some of his views and some of his ideas. You understand? But the man is looking out for the well-being of its members. You know the most dangerous person you could ever deal with, Jeffrey, is a snake that is venomous, but you don't know he's venomous. Because you have snakes that they look venomous and they're not venomous. True. So they strike you. You see the snake and you say, oh, but that snake is not venomous. And when you push your hand, bam, he bites you. You say, oh, it's okay, nothing not gonna happen. Next thing you know, you start foaming at the mouth. You have seizures. The saliva from the snake block up your arteries, and boom, you have a heart attack. You go through convulsions, you name it. You understand? That is the thing that is happening in the Jamaica Constabulary Force right now. You understand? I'm so disappointed in certain individuals. Won't say their names. I can't understand a man is killed in a man's house. You get bed rest. Jeffrey, let me tell you something, Jeffrey. I am so upset. This is why I'm saying I listened to your program, and I'm looking at the comments. But I said, you know what? I had to call in. You know why I called in, Jeffrey? Because you were talking about capital punishment, but there are other things also that irks the public on a day-to-day basis. Yes. Now, a lady that called you earlier talk about, she was saying, in all fairness to her, the community that people live in, police should in communicate more, the government should do more. But Jeffrey, in all fairness, does it look to you like politicians in Jamaica care about the people in the communities?
No, oh Lord, I forget to put up something I want to put up, Is a well-known professor from South Africa who said something, and the next program I want to put it up. He said that politicians will walk hills and valleys, and I keep on saying, take off all their shoes and kiss babies. And even if you know, even if the water dirty, then drink the water just to get a vote. That is how these politicians are. Jamaican politicians, very few of them care about the people. Very few.
That's what I'm saying. And after, Monica Willis, you made a comment. I respect you for that. She says a snake is a snake in every sense of the word.
Yes.
Yeah, but I understand her point too, and I agree with you, but they're the venomous ones. Yes, we know the snakes are snakes, because you see some snakes, they're not venomous,
You believe,
you as a human.
You believe that if Corporal Rowan James was in, let's say,
commissioner, put it real, he could be the commissioner of police.
Right.
Things would be a lot different, of course. I tell you, there would be a 85% change in the JCF. I would never say 100, because one thing I never do, Jeffrey, I never give anyone 10 out of 10 yet. Never, because we all have our flaws. Let me show you how low people are. Okay, so here we have a man, and this is where the public need to understand, because someone said something earlier that called you, and this is where I think it was a gentleman or it was a female where they erred. No, the gentleman from England. You can't tell a constable or a police officer, inspector, sub, no matter what position you have, which political party to vote for. You are entitled to vote. That's fine. Police officers, they have all the right to vote for the party that they want. The thing is that the members of the JCF must be allowed to carry out, to perform their task, serve, protect, and reassure. You understand me, Jeffrey? Do not interfere. The JCF has corruption, we won't deny that. But it's the interference, Jeffrey, that we have the problem with. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Interference. And any member, the police officers that are here, or ex-police officers will tell you, Jeffrey, I have been in situations where politicians have interfered. I know that. I've been in situations where senior people have interfered. And it gets so bad that I said, you know what, have a nice day. Because Jeffrey, why put myself in an uncomfortable situation or uncomfortable position to make others happy? I won't do it. I won't do it. Jeff, let me tell you something. If I did not hold my head high, I wouldn't leave and go to a different place. And when they see my record, they say, "Oh, your record is clean." Because no guy never buy me out. No guy not give me nothing. And my name never called on a bang around. And when I see...
And that is why right now, they hate Corporal James, because Corporal James
exactly.
Corporal Rowan James. And I lift my hat to that man. He
100%.
He went at a funeral, and the Minister of National Security, along with the twiddly dum former Commissioner of Police. I hope I don't feel in the way I say that.
No.
When Corporal James went to that funeral, he never minced word. He tell him like it is. And those are the people we need in this country.
But Jeffrey, let me tell you something. You are a man of logic in your own way. You say you're not smart. Listen, we are not rocket scientists. Have you ever seen Anderson give a press briefing?
Never.
The man is as dumb as an ox. He is as dumb as an ox, and I will not take it back. He is being questioned or asking. You see, as much as, boy, you see, as much as Bailey having issues, if you look at Bailey giving a briefing, Bailey know the AKAs. You know when I say AKAs, right?
Yeah, man.
He knows the AKAs, aliases, whatever. You understand? The problem with Bailey is that Bailey gets political, and that's where I'm disappointed in Bailey. You see, if Bailey just had performed the task, because I know Bailey is knowledgeable, Jeffrey. I'm not ask, Bailey know police into the T, but Bailey is compromised. And that situation with that man that had that man killed in his house, that was when I hit a low. Because I'm saying, if Jeffrey, let me tell you something. That is one of the craziest things I've ever seen in the history of Jamaica, and there have been crazy things. I'm gonna leave you with this. Someone commented in the section about a politician that, okay, so let's say alleged, because I know that individual is guilty with that immaculate schoolgirl. Let me tell you, Jeffrey, when you go to your bed, kneel down and say, God, if this individual is guilty, punish him. Just like how I, Jeffrey, call for capital punishment. I'll leave you with that.
No, but before you go,
I know that
I
know that individual is guilty. I'm not asking you, Jeffrey. I'm telling you. Even though we say alleged, so don't feel bad. You see, Jeffrey, listen, let me tell you. We have a saying in Jamaica, if it not goes so, it near goes so, don't it?
Indeed, indeed.
You understand?
I am aware of certain things, you know, but I have to be
but you can't do it. Yes, you listen, you have your no, Jeffrey, and I understand that. You have your platform to protect. You have your own style. You have your own style.
Not only my platform, sir. I have my name and my reputation to protect.
Of course.
Yes,
absolutely.
So I have to be very careful.
Absolutely.
Before you go.
I'm just busy, you know, my calls keep coming in.
Before you go, do you believe that the JCF is giving the Jamaican people the true numbers of murders in this country?
No. No, absolutely not.
On that note, my friend, don't be a stranger to this number. You have this number. Call me when you have the time. You can call me. We need to talk.
Yes, man. Because Jeffrey, I did a lot. You know, I did a lot, and you know, before I leave, you know, I just want to say there was someone I knew very well. I'm not saying he was the most professional person that got, you know, senior police officer lost his life years ago. Tony, someone that I knew very, very well. He got complacent and careless, and even though his name was called in a lot of things, I think a lot of individuals that people in the chat know, they were just like him, just the same. It's just that some are still alive and some have so-called repetitions. Because Jeffrey, let me tell you something. The one thing I don't support, and you will never hear me say it on your platform, I support name brand police. I don't believe in the Ox. I don't believe in the Django's. I don't believe in the Wanadies. I don't believe in policemen that carry spaghetti-based Western or Badman name attached to them. It's a stagnated thing. That's bad for the JCF. It's bad. And this is what we need to get rid of, Jeffrey. We don't want to hear someone policeman we name Rufus, and one we name Drankrobati, and one we name Spaghetti. I kill 10 and 20 people. Jeffrey, you can't. You can't. I'm not saying you can take on the gunmen, take on gunmen or in a shootout. But one of the worst things I hate, Jeffrey, you had a shootout with 2 men, 1 escape in the bushes. And yet you're on an operation. Chase them. That one will escape in the bushes. What? Is he a magic wand? Does he go into the abode? How can you, 10, 12 policemen in an operation, you shoot 1 gunman or 2 gunmen and 1 escape in bushes? So what? And where is the technology? Jeffrey, Jeffrey, what happened to drones? What happened to drones?
Hold on there, officer. Hold on there, former officer. Hold on there. And that is why I said this publicly on this platform, that we, the Jamaican people, must call out this Prime Minister. Hold on there. Why I say this is, when he was going to bulldozer down the people of Clifton land to give it to their friends and cronies, they call out every single member of the Jamaica Constabulary Force. They call out every single member of the JDF. They call out the JDF Air Wing. They call out the JDF patrols. They call out the drones. They call out the helicopters, everybody. So why is it that they can't call out those people when they're going to solve, when they're going on operation to try and solve Jamaica's crime pandemic?
Say it all the time. You know, Jeffrey, I so love you. I admire you. You know, you're doing your thing. I want to big up Louis platform, Louis Watson in the chat here, and Andrea. There are a few people here that I so love these people. Yeah. I see them on a, because Jeffrey, listen, at the end of the day, you know, we are Jamaicans. We care about the well-being of Jamaica. We care about our people. But let's ask ourselves the question, what do we want? Jeffrey, my problem is, when you get rid of a man like James is brilliant. James is brilliant, just like myself. I am very, very smart, you know, Jeffrey. I'm not asking you, I'm telling you, you know. I'm like you. I went in the service when I was 18. I have 7 O levels. I have a history with distinction. I know I would have gone far, but when I see the bullshit, as I could say, I won't swear and say other words, that I see within the JCF during my tenure, I said, this is not me. It makes no sense, because Jeffrey, you can't muzzle people that are working for you, that want to uphold the law, who serve the people with malice towards none, who want to work with integrity for uprightness and to serve and protect and reassure the public. It's hard for you, Jeffrey. I'm sorry for these young constables that I see coming out now. I'm sorry for them. Honestly, I just get a notification the other day, and I was watching a graduation of an intake, and I saw a senior lady was talking to some constables, and I just shake my head. You understand? Because
I want you to come back on this program. You don't have to come and show your face or anything. But I love to have you on my program. You know why I say it? You gave us so much information for us to sit and ponder on.
But that's what I do, Jeffrey.
And I want you to look into the new Road Traffic Act for me. You see? There's a reason I'm asking you to do this for me. I should have talked to you privately off here, but I'm going to do the public on here. Look on the new Road Traffic Act for me. Yes, we have some nasty, dirty drivers out there, and don't get me wrong. We do. But do you believe that what is going on in Jamaica now with the new Road Traffic Act and with the bus and taxi operators, do you think it is fair to them, sir?
No, it's not. It's not fair, Jeffrey. And let me tell you, one of the biggest problem, Jeffrey, that I find going on in the JCF now, and we are human, ego. A lot of officers, constable, police, those that are aligned to the traffic department, they're out there with like specific egos attached to them. Jeffrey, you know, let me tell you, friend, I could talk to you for a year. Let me tell you, you know what resonates with me? I'm not going off topic. I seen some MPN members, Jeffrey, mash up some people's stall. And there's a guy out in Jamaica that I personally am talking to some people now regarding his behavior, that graybeard guy, because I was in a group meeting the other day with some senior, I don't remember, he's a graybeard. I have videos of him. He was telling a man in one of those parishes that if the man swear to him one more time, or he will lock him up. And that's another thing too that I would like them to eliminate totally. I mean, what are expletives, Jeffrey? If you tell a man to S him mother or tell him a PC,
tell him some of those cloth below that pinks and pablos.
Jeffrey, why go into your feelings? Why go into your feelings? You're gonna arrest a man for telling you. And Jeffrey, look at the what's going on now with the weed. Ellington is no, Jeffrey. I rest my case. I rest my case.
You and I will talk, my friend.
They put Ellington now to head traffic. Jeffrey, I know someone that was close to Ellington who is in prison right now. Schoolboy in prison right now. In prison, and I tell people long time ago.
Is it that they put that gentleman there because something is being planned by that gentleman and that other person who is in charge? Jeffrey, behave yourself.
You never know. You never know. You know, Jeffrey, that's why I said I stand corrected. Because let me tell you, Jeffrey, I'm the type of person, you see, if I err with something, I like to be corrected.
Yes.
But you see, when I'm on point, and as I say, I will never take my word back, Jeffrey. Until the day I die, there are politicians in Jamaica. There is one I haven't seen in Parliament now for a long while. And I hope where he is, he's stagnated at a place where he can't move or he's just sick. And we just hear say he's no longer with us. That piece of garbage. I know them to the T. And Jeffrey, let me tell you something. Until these parasites, yes, people in the chat, I apologize. I call them parasites. They know who they are. You played Montague. I'm no fan of his either. I'm no fan of his. And even though someone said something and it's alleged, you might be in your feelings a bit because you mentioned more than once about that 80-year-old lady. And I understand that, Jeffrey, you're only human. But who could Montague talk to? Montague has no credibility. Montague has absolutely no credibility. But I understand Jeffrey talking about Montague, talking about hanging and stuff like that. But Jeffrey, a lot of them that are talking about hanging and want to see the so-called jungle justice, what about them? Who created the monsters, Jeffrey? Just people in the chat and just put aside on a political alignment, put aside on a feelings. Who created the monsters in the communities, Jeffrey?
True.
I leave that with you and the people. Who committed the monsters? A lot of people in here have family members that are disappeared. I see one lady in here comment, she have family members that disappeared, family members killed. I saw the video of the brother and sister, even though they were scammers, being killed, placed in a shallow grave and dirt thrown on them. Seriously, Jeffrey, that's where our society gone to. And you're telling me, even though they were scammers, you see, Jeffrey, crime is committed against the state, not against the police. And this is where a lot of police officers need to go back and double check themselves. Even when you catch the man with his hand in the cookie jar, he's not committing the crime against you. He's committing the crime against the state. So he goes to trial. Let his retainer and the prosecutors or the crown in the court go and fight amongst themselves. If you are called before the stand, you bring your statements, you go before the stand. You do due diligence, perform your task, leave the rest up to the courts. People go into their feelings, police officers taking up things upon them and make it a personal thing. How dare you go on the bed, go look for people that are going to place, go look for people because Prime Minister tell the Prime Minister go see mother or you understand what I'm saying? Unless you're a C-section, most of us come through vaginal birthing. Unless you're a C-section. So if a man,
do you believe that the Prime Minister would have called them to go for the person?
Yes, he would, Jeffrey. I'm not ruling it out. Jeffrey, just look at his behavior, his arrogance. Listen, Jeffrey, let me jog your memory for a minute. I know people, if anyone call out, let me just show you something. So the Prime Minister was in a town hall meeting. I just run it to you quickly. People can go back and check. And a young man said something to the Prime Minister. Jeffrey, I am trained in body language. I am trained in eyes. If I'm talking to you, I don't take my eyes off you. Look at the expression and the behavior of the Prime Minister. It's like he would run down and strangle that young man. Just because the young man was talking about an issue that he heard and he's talking, right? Another young man and here's somebody now. Here one of the jackasses. Yes, he's a jackass. Deal with him, Prime Minister. Because the young man made a point. Now listen to me now, Jeffrey. You're talking about young, creative minds. Young minds. Jeffrey, we are all up in our 60s. Maybe you're younger than me. We're not going to live forever.
I'm very young than you, sir.
You understand? So we have the young people that are coming up in our society. Don't you know that they need to learn? Don't you know that they need to know? So another young man came forward and said, Mr. Prime Minister, you should apologize. What did that young man say wrong?
Nothing.
Jeffrey, you have to set the standards. Set an example, Jeffrey, for others to follow. You're a leader. Jeffrey, if you come and you talk against the Prime Minister, it doesn't mean that you wouldn't vote for the Jamaica Labour Party. Because remember, there are hardline people and there are people that are not hardline. You have people that vote according to what they see the government, the vote according to the performance of the government, and you have people vote because it's historical. Mother, father, brother, auntie, sister, cousin, niece, the whole, everybody are labor right. The same thing for PNP, mother, father, auntie, sister, cousin, niece. And then you have the intellectual, the smart people who said, you know what? This government is doing what I like, and I see what they're doing. They've done things that, yes, we see progress. Some people vote like that. You understand? So if the Prime Minister is up in his feelings, I've listened to the Prime Minister's wife say she used to go to market with her grandmother or her mother. You understand? So let's play the devil's advocate. If she has educated herself and elevated herself and gone into business and make money to increase her profits and to increase her lifestyle, all good. Everybody wants progress. But don't do things that are questionable. Don't have funds that are questionable. You look at the Royal Reeds. This man put money in his helper's name. Put money here, this, that, and people must not talk about it. And this is where I am so upset with the Prime Minister. And as again, I say, I try oftentimes not to get political. Because, Jeffrey, does the Prime Minister go to his bed and sleep okay at night, knowing that he has Horace Chang unless Horace Chang has secrets for him? That's the only thing I can say.
I tell you one thing, officer. I tell you something, I don't believe the Jamaican politicians, some of them go to their bed and sleep at night, Because you know why? I believe that they're worried about a Wilfred Rattigan, and they're worried about other people are talking or digging up things against them, I don't believe they sleep well at all. I believe I go to the parliament sometimes and they're trying to figure out what is next.
Jeffrey, let me tell you something. Let me tell you the dirty behavior of politicians in Jamaica. So look here now, Jeffrey. Look here now. Boy, I so love, like I love talking to you and the people in the chat. Even if they don't agree with me, that's fine. But let me tell you something about how nasty politicians are. So Jeffrey, you're now hosting a program. And in your past, you may have gone into a candy store and as a 13-year-old one, because they do it in North America too, you know.
Yes.
And you take up a candy, walk out the store, the shopkeeper, the store owner see you, oh boy, you know, then call the police take you home, blah, blah, blah. Maybe the police made a statement of it, but yet at the end of the day, you know, you go to the courts, the court said, listen, young man, you're gonna get probationary period, etc., etc. We fast track now. Here you are, Jeffrey, you're 53, 54, 55. You have a platform and you said, I'm going to go into politics. Because this is what they did to James, you know, and I'm just using you now as an example. So you get up and you say, you know what, Prime Minister, how comes you have 50 millions in your account and you never had no money? You say when you go to university, man, take away your shoes and you live in a 1-bedroom till you go to 2-bedroom, etc., etc. The Prime Minister get up in him feelings and him call. I just look for two. He called Albert C in the chat and K-Love and Andrea and him say, listen, I want the three of you to dig up every nasty thing you can find on that Jeffrey guy for me. That's how dangerous Jamaican politicians are. You see what they did to James? They go back and look at his political this and talk about him did this, that. The current commissioner was in an accident. Go and research it. The current commissioner was in a traffic accident and there was a little furrow over that and he was drunk. So if I'm telling lie, go and research and you will find out if I'm telling you foolishness. The current commissioner. So what does that tell you? What does that tell you, Jeffrey? They will dig up every nasty thing they can about you to belittle you and to defame you, Jeffrey. They will even make up stories. They will even say you were what you were not. Because that's the way Jamaica is, Jeffrey. That's the way Jamaica is. That's why a lot of platform holders are vloggers. I don't listen to them. I don't want to hear what they have to say. You understand? Jeffrey, 90% of politicians in Jamaica, their hand is in the cookie jar. Whether you're PNP or JLP, I don't care. They just have not been caught yet. 90% of them. 90% of them. And I'll say this with malice towards none. You understand what I'm saying? I like Mark Golding. I know he has credibility attached to them, but nobody's saying he's infallible. If I see Andrea in the chat here down the street coming up and she's properly dressed, am I gonna say, oh, Angela, oh, she's charming and she would never commit crime? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because if you go into the courts on a daily basis and you sit down, look at the people that come into the courts. You understand? Apart from those who are bought out and money run. Jamaica is under a money run system, Jeffrey. And that's the topic I want you to talk about one day. You're surprised to see how much people call you. Jeffrey, just give people a chance sometime to express themselves. I plead to you with that. You'll be surprised to know, because there are people out there, Jeffrey, that have a lot of information. I know you, Jeffrey, you might get into your feelings, but sometimes let them talk. As long as it's not something that's going to violate what you're doing, let them talk. And you'll be surprised to know information that people will divulge to you.
You know something? Something. I want to say this, and I wonder if all my people here on the platform and those who are listening and watching me, I don't get into my feelings, you know, and I want you all to understand that. And don't get me wrong, you know, what you said to me a while ago, sir. What you said to me a while ago, sir, I will take it in consideration. Honestly, I will, because it's not only you alone will say things to me. Sometimes my wife says to me, say, "Hey, let the people them talk." I have a good friend of mine who I respect very much. My good friend Tigo, and you know, bigger. My wife talked to me about it a lot of times, and you say to me now, I'm gonna seriously look into it and say, you know what, Jeffrey, let the people talk.
I'll tell you something, Jeffrey. Look at that little politician guy. I call him the little politician guy. Look at him with Rattigan. He tried to say Rattigan was an FBI agent, this, that, blah, blah, blah. It just goes to show you how low. Because remember, you know, Jeffrey, think of boxing. When you are in the ring with a person and you're boxing, you lose points if you hit below the belt. Am I right or am I wrong?
Repeat again.
When you're in the boxing ring, if two boxers are in the ring, and if you hit the next opponent below the belt, don't you lose points?
Yes.
Because you hit him below the belt, which you're not supposed to, right? So this is what I'm showing you. And when that little fellow came against Rattigan, I just wanted Rattigan to rip him apart. Yes, rip him apart. Because how dare you question one's credibility because one take a stance about you and your foolishness.
You mean you're talking about the Minister of Misinformation?
Oh yes, that misinformation. I call him the guy. Yes. And another one, Jeffrey. When I so love talking to you and the people in the chat, look at the incident in St. Catherine. The Prime Minister was in Parliament and said he had intelligence that people bought lands from gang members or so-called individuals attached to gangs. And the school principal was the one who sold the people the land, and you knocked down the people's house. And that young lady, when I saw her crying, Jeffrey, it hit me at a place where, I was wounded over the years working more than once. And I tell you, I feel the hurt just like when I got the first wound. You hear me tell you? It hurt me to the core. You hit down people, and look at the boy them, Jeffrey. We are going to knock down the people the most. The boy them in a slippers with sledgehammer. Jesus Christ, people in the chat, just think about it for a minute. If you vote jail, PRP and P doesn't matter. We're talking about humanity. You understand? And then these are the same people who are telling people to come back to Jamaica, to invest in Jamaica, to do this for Jamaica and do that for Jamaica. Jeffrey, let me tell you.
Yes.
I tell you, I remember, when Gardner and his wife had their dispute and he shot her. Yes. I remember me and myself and many others, you understand? Not that we supported him, but we wanted to know what went down and the whole situation that happened, because we know that the type of person that she was. And I'm just saying this to say that he got a lot of support from a lot of people. And you see Gardner, I live to see the day where Gardner himself come and he said, listen, the biggest mistake I ever made was aligning myself politically. Jeffrey, you can go and make your ex beside the head and beside the bell, but stand up for truth, right, justice, and integrity. If the Prime Minister slip up on your labor right, don't be afraid to say, Mr. Prime Minister, you should not do that.
True.
This is what we are talking about.
I tell you something.
Do not be biased.
I tell you something, When the protest finished in Washington, D.C., I was on my way back to the airport. As I came out of the vehicle at Reagan National, my phone rang. And I got a call. And I never said to Wilfred nor the group. The call I got was this. I can't believe. I'm going to say it publicly because I'm afraid of nobody.
Talk, of course. You must talk.
I got a call and the person said to me, I can't believe you have a name as a Tavares and you really bringing on the Labour Party. I said, I beg your pardon? I said, how dare you? How dare you? I said, I don't give a damn if I'm a Tavares. I'm a Jamaican. And Jamaica come first for me. No political party. And as long as I have breath inside of me, I will continue to speak out for my poorer Jamaicans. I said, do you know what it's like to go to your bed hungry? I said, I have been there. I said, do you know what it's like on Christmas Day to eat a hard dough bread and tin mackerel? I said, I have been there. Don't come to me and talk to me about any political party. And I hung up my phone.
Exactly.
Until
you did the right thing.
Until we in this country can stand up for this piece of rock that we call Jamaica, the gem in the Caribbean Sea, until we put away PNP and JLP and speak about the color of the Jamaican flag and lift our flag high. People are saying that we go into Washington to put Jamaica's dirty laundry out there. Isn't Jamaica dirty laundry out there even before we go there?
Long time, Jeffrey. And you see, Jeffrey, it comes right back to what I said to you before. Someone and one of your callers said earlier, why won't people take to the streets? You know why people in Jamaica hardly ever take to the streets? Complacency, Jeffrey. The Jamaican populace is very, very complacent. And some people also live in fear, in that if I speak and if I make a voice, this is going to happen to me and that is going to happen to me. Because what? Again, the politicians create monsters in the communities. I can tell you something that I know personally. You see that drunk Raziks, that nasty lowlife that sits in prison, who I say it every day, he should be hung a long time ago. Zeeks forcibly forced mothers with their children on the street to demonstrate when the first time when he got held for the crimes that he committed. He forced them into the street. And I want the people again to think about this. Think about this. The young ladies that are the young women, teenagers, the 12-year-old and the 13 and the 14 and the 15-year-olds that become early mothers. Has anyone ever stopped for a minute and think you are privileged, so you don't live in the trench town and the Rima and the jungles? You understand? And the bad man can send call you and tell if a send your daughter come. Zeke did that, and this is why I hate him and I despise him so much, along with others. And the people in the chat, yes, be mad with me. Zeke is one of them that should be hung by the neck. As a matter of fact, his feet, both feet, should be 6 inches from the ground, and he should be hung with piano wire. I'd never take it back. That piece of low-life garbage. I would sit there and watch him die slowly for the many ills and wicked things that he has done. 2 young men disappeared under his watch, and I know Zeke got rid of them. The JCF did nothing about it. The High Command did nothing about it, and the politician did. You want me to leave you with a better one than that? A known wanted man in Jamaica. A politician had him in his vehicle driving around, and police looking for that man same wanted. Senior man showed me proof of that. The man wanted enough. Zeke, let me tell you. Let me say the man is wanted, Jeffrey, in Jamaica. And senior politician have that man driving around.
Was it
one that you see burning him weak? The one that you see was burning his week. The one that you see went on platform burning his week. That low life. Not to talk about. You see all the 3-letter word one. VAZ. His father. Parasite. Let me tell you, Jeffrey. Them can't do me. I don't worry about them, because I've been there and done that, I've been there and done that. You see the problems that happening on Radius Road over the years. Yes. If it wasn't Samuda, those problems would not be there. Samuda. That I wanted live to see the day that piece of shit on his bed confess. I want to see the day when the Vaz, I'm so sorry the father, maybe the Vaz father confess and nobody don't know. But you see this one, the one at Portland, I want him to reach a stage in his life where him lay down and can't move and wondering why he cannot move. You think I'm going to take it back? Yes, you have your platform, but I'm telling you, if he's not guilty of the charge and what is known within the hierarchy of the JCF, well, let me tell you, I know there is a God. I know there is a God, and he has children, and if it's one day before that piece of shit dead, he's gonna confess about what he did involving that immaculate schoolgirl. You don't have to say anything. You don't say a word. I am talking, because I don't want you to be in problem. But I'm telling you, nobody can tell me that Baz don't know about it. I don't care. You think I'm worried about them? We are waiting to see the day some of them even visit North America. Some of them, because let me tell you. You might be in Jamaica and think you're untouchable, but let me tell you something, Jeffrey. You see a mother that birthed children. I was at a place one time, and I seen a mother take out her upper body. I won't say the word on your program because I don't want it to be flagged, but the females know. She pulled down her top and she take out her 2 parts, and she hold it up and she call a policeman name and say, "You will pay for killing my child." Because the young man was innocent. The young man was innocent that policeman killed. Remember, I tell you that. Jeffrey, you see, let me tell you, do not be an ostrich. And you have a platform, Jeffrey, that you're trying to build. You might not make everybody happy. You might have a different presentation of the way you do things. You might have a different way of the way you do things. But let me tell you something. Lay aside your malices. Anyone that attacks you or attacks anybody else for standing up for truth and justice, they are no better than the hog that eats its wallow and the dog that eats its vomit. They're no better. Because, Jeffrey, remember this. You cannot adorn a pig with pearls.
Yes.
You'll trample it or eat it. You can't take a hog out of mud. You think these politicians, a lot of them in Jamaica, are not hogs? They're hogs, you know, Jeffrey. You want to prove if they're hogs? Take them out the mud and wash them off and see where they go. Montague can't talk to me. Vaz can't talk to me. Many of them. Look at that other idiot that have family in from the one way. I don't even remember his name now. Mackenzie, that fellow. My family at Tivoli. We know everything about them, you know, Jeffrey. We know everything about them.
You're talking about Deadman Mackenzie?
Yeah, Deadman Mackenzie. We know everything about them. We know everything about them, Jeffrey. We have files on here. I said we. I have a set of people that I am aligned to. We're just waiting, watching and waiting. We're watching and waiting, Jeffrey. Because one day, they will have to leave. Wherever they are. One day they will have to leave. Because let me tell you, Jeffrey, you will never do any evil in this world and get away with it. You hear much time I repeat it? I say again, you will never, ever. You see the way Hewitt died? Hewitt was a crime fighter. Yes, he was rough and tough, and he died a simple way. And it was a female coochie that caused his death. We say coochie because I don't want to use the other word. You see how simple he died? Yeah. For a female's private era. That was his alignment because he had that craving. So you see all those who think that they're infallible and they're untouchable and they cannot be touched, and you know their powers is overbearing and nothing can happen to them. There is a day of reckoning coming. There's a day of reckoning. Remember that. A lot of them must remember that the wickedness you do to people's children, the people that you falsify. I know a lot of young men in prison right now that police officers falsify, just like they do all over the world, especially in the States. Though, don't be fooled. Falsify documentation, put crime on them that they didn't commit, and this is why we can have a balance when it comes to capital punishment. But we're talking about those that we know, we see before us. I seen one incident where two gunmen took on some police officers. One of the officers got shot in the chest, but he had his vest on. One got killed, and there was a lady in the background saying, "That's why my man no like police." Remember, you know, the police. These guys have both had guns, and her remark you could hear in the background. That's why our man no like police. But yet you're talking about individuals that were in shootout with police that were coming from a situation. The one that was the hitman, I had pictures of him, and we were looking at it within our group. They had pictures of him. He was under surveillance. And when he got taken out by the police, you hear about police brutality. These are the things, Jeffrey, that one has to step back for a minute. Step back. We're not saying police must go out there and kill people every day. No. Get the parasites off the street. Jeffrey, we know when the Prime Minister said you must sleep with window, we know that's a fallacy. We know that's a fallacy. Unless you're living in some rural area where it's different. But you can't, the corporate area, and try it. Not gonna happen. Apart, yes, we know the little ghetto area, but the ghetto area, them a garrison. So if a man say, okay, and so on, so that's different. So we know when he said that, it was just political mumbo jumbo. You understand? But let's look at the reality of the situation. Look at what the people are facing on a day-to-day basis. Things that you have to deal with. I am passionate about the JCF, you know. I know people might realize that by now, you know, Jeffrey. Yes, I am passionate to know why. People cannot be allowed to take the law into their own hands. We're not talking about a purge here. Jamaica is not a purge. But when politicians put guns in people's hands, an influx of guns, I never forget Jeffrey Edwards Yaga talk out their mouth. I hear him say it. I mean, I question people say him not like police. Edwards Yaga said that out their mouth. And anybody in here who don't have no bias can tell you, when we a patrol with 303 rifle, man a Tivoli Garden of M16, and those M16 were used in Vietnam up to 1975. They ended up in Jamaica. I'm not asking you, Jeffrey. I'm telling you. You hear me tell you? This is why I'm saying you're on your platform, Jeffrey. Don't be biased. See reality for reality. But sometimes when some people call, just say to yourself, you know what? If them don't say the Prime Minister wicked and him at this and him at that, and I'll say, well, him take somebody's life. Let the people talk. Let them free their minds. Let them free their mind. Because a lot of, who do you think undercover officers get information, Jeffrey? If someone comes to you and he gives you 100 statements, 89 of those statements are true.
Yes.
The other 11 is bullshit. Because remember, the person who's giving you the information, I'm sorry to say bullshit because I don't want to be flagged, but the other 11 information that he gives you is for clarification, as in saving himself. But the other 89 is evidence that you can work from. Because that is something that was done, and we are, I'm 100% sure, Jeffrey, what I'm telling you is no joke. You cannot at this present time trust undercover operations in Jamaica. You can't, Jeffrey. You cannot. With Horace Chang, absolutely not. Absolutely not. As long as Horace Chang is there, I would not advise any man or woman who have them well-thinking family where them love them wife or she love her husband. As long as you're reporting to Horace Chang or anything to do with that man, look at him. He's a parasite. You look at him and you see the devil incarnate in him. And I won't take it back. He's despicable. I despise him with a passion. I despise him with a passion. Believe me. Remember, Jeffrey, what Licky Weed sent out is not something that was fictionalized. It was not fictionalized.
Nope, that's true.
He sent out the report. Yes. And I know the Montague situation is touchy. So, yes, okay, fine. Benefit of the doubt. But I tell you this, until the day Vaz dead, and until the day he stays alive, he's under the microscope. Because I will tell you this today, and you mark the date, the 18th of June. That Vaz boy, he will pay for that immaculate schoolgirl. And I leave you with that. Jeffrey and friends in the chat, you have a blessed evening. God bless you. Keep doing what you're doing. I know, you might not make everybody happy, but listen, truth and justice will prevail. You hear me tell you? Truth and justice, Jeffrey, will prevail.
Yes.
And if the Prime Minister hand is in the cookie jar, and if his wife hand is in the cookie jar, and any member of Parliament hand is in the cookie jar, the public will see for themselves one day, if they're not seeing it already. Have a blessed evening.
Thank you, my friend, and don't be a stranger to my program now.
No, man. Bless up yourself, man.
All the best, man. Thanks
man. Bless up. Yeah, man. Cool.
Wow. That was a mouthful. That was an earful. My. I have nothing more to say for the rest of the evening. Not one single thing more to say. More than thank you for that call. Thank you so much, sir, for that call. Thank you. May God bless you. May God keep you. My God, I am astonished. I'm lost for words. Yes, Max, I can end the program now. Wow. I hold on, there's a call coming in. Hold on. Hello, good afternoon, caller. Welcome to the program.
Hi, Jeffrey, darling.
How are you doing?
Why, that's a mouthful, that is a brain full of something for go sit up and think over. Reggie, no want your phone number, make we link up, and you want to have things to talk, me have to talk to, make we share information. I want to do them.
My God.
Why? People, that is something for you all to go and do your homework, please, and thank you.
Thank you too, my dear.
Yes, right. Jeffrey, make him give me number and give me a link up with him.
I will. All right, darling. Thanks much.
We have things to talk. We know.
All right.
We were there until we leave. Duh. All right, Jeffrey.
All right, then. Thanks. Bye-bye. Wow. Please share this video. You know how long I had this corporal punishment thing to speak about, and I dragged my foot with it. I think God wanted me to do it this time. I think the good God above wanted me to do it at this time, at this defining moment in history. Please share this program. Like, share, and subscribe to everyone you can do it to. Let's subscribe to this channel. I don't want to share it. Let's subscribe to this channel. Because I'm going to bring him back. I'm going to make him come back on the program to speak to us some more. As a matter of fact, I'm going to have an open mic day. Wow. Wow. A nation that is in crisis. A nation that is governed. And people keep on asking the question, how can you have a deputy prime minister, a minister of national security? He's also the deputy minister of defense. I wanted to ask him about his views on how the Jamaican state assassinated a Jamaican citizen on the soil, Keith Clark. I wanted to ask him about that, but hold on for me. Good afternoon, caller. Welcome to the Make We Talk program.
Yes, Jeffrey. Good afternoon, sir. Blessed love, Bridget.
Same to you, my brother.
Yeah, man. Thumbs up to the Bridget who just done talk a while ago.
Yes, indeed.
You know, yeah, and also I know a Bridget who used to run a restaurant downtown. I know Zeeks them has actually stopped up that guy. He had to run, and he's now here in England. So, you know, well, you know, Jeffrey, it's all of these guys who do some things and get with it because they always have politicians on their side, especially if they're from the GLP or the PMP. So the corruption we always talk about, Jeffrey, is not a joke thing. If you look back again on the commissioner, just go in a office now and him show a big sign of corruption when the police officer who was sleeping with Leona Bradshaw, what's your name? Yeah? When the inmates them speak out against it, is more than one time him take her out the cell. You get me answer there, Jeffrey? And transfer the man.
And you know the funniest thing to call her? You don't hear nothing more about it.
Think more about the corruption we have going in Jamaica. So the commissioner of police, him supposed to move the man from duty and investigate the matter. Him don't investigate the matter. All he do is move the man to a different location. Him transfer him to somewhere else. And this guy was doing it. This guy was taking out Leona, having sex with her for months and months. He been doing there. And the inmates couldn't take it anymore. So them speak out against it. They speak the truth. They don't. These inmates not lying, Jeffrey. So the corruption in Jamaica where we need to get rid of. If we're not in it, Jeffrey, I want to bring the gallas and I broke people's neck. It's still gonna be a problem in Jamaica same way because some people in the high force they were still there behind the corruption and some people carry out crime and still walk away freely.
My God.
You know, grew up in another country like Jeffrey, I would know. So they never like you speak until you speak them why if you dead.
And that is why I ask the question time and time again. In what Jamaica is those people who stand up on Saturday on the other side of the Jamaican embassy, in front of the Jamaican embassy, on the other side of the road? What Jamaica are they living in?
Yes, I'm saying to you, say, people have right to demonstrate if something is wrong. And we're not supposed to go out there, go demonstrate because we are support the PMP or the GLP. We're supposed to go out there for Jamaica. That's what's supposed to go there. That's why you leave and travel up there for you go up there for Jamaica. You don't go up there for PMP or GLP. So the name should have nothing to do with you going up.
Sorry to cut you. I gotta cut this program now because I have a very important call coming in from my hold on for me, Dwight. I gotta cut this program now. I do apologize to you all. I do apologize to the caller. I gotta go to a very important meeting I have to go to. I just remember about it. Until you hear my voice again, may God bless you and may God bless Jamaica land we love. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to the Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. May God bless you and may God bless our island home, Jamaica land we love. Have a great evening, everyone.
When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, make we talk, my people, make we talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Make we talk, people, make we talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So people, make we talk. Hey, we're living in